Hey everybody, welcome to Bad Science Sunday, and we do have a stream today. I just want to get this out of the way. So some drama happened, I guess earlier today. I'm not really sure when all the shit happened, but a lot of shit's been happening for a while, and for me, maybe it's the ADD, or I don't know what it is, but I just genuinely lack fucks for bullshit. Like if you don't like me, I don't care. There's not a lot of shit you can make me say to care. Usually, when I get pissed off, it's because you're doing shit to my friends, and then like those are fighting words. I'm sorry, and that's not what this is. This is just somebody that's mad at me. And all right, normally I don't give names, but let's name drop. Fuck it. Um, I killed Earl. I guess got bored and like just I don't know. Maybe she wrote something. Maybe it was some AI stuff. I'm really not convinced that she has the attention span to do this. Maybe it took her a series of weeks. I don't know. Um, Earl is under the opinion that I hate her or some such shit. And I'm just like, you, I don't want this to sound petty, but like, I don't care enough about her to dislike her. And I also, I have some godlike pull in Earl's head. It is amazing to me that she thinks that I can just wake up one morning and decide that bitch has got to go. And it just happens like that. Now, in fairness, I may have set the ball rolling, right? There was a conversation that she, Crystal, and I were in, and she said some things that I thought other people might like need to see. Um, so there were some key people that I shared our conversation with, and those people decided that they didn't want someone like her in their side chats, in their pretending like they could be friends with someone who would think such thoughts or say such things. And while obviously I support those opinions, I did not tell those people to do any of that. And I certainly didn't start an I hate Earl movement. Yes, I did know what was jumping off before it jumped off, I knew a lot of things before she knew about them. Case in point, the whole her getting kicked out of Skeptic Spin, probably a good day before she knew about it. Um, but I wasn't even the one who went to Justin. Justin and I became friends after all of this happened. There was a number of us who were just talking things through, and a lot of stuff happened, not because I set it in motion, but like I became friends with people because I'm known as someone who will listen, as a shoulder to cry on, or just, being empathetic, being someone who understood what was going on. People were reaching out to me, and again after the fact, I didn't go up to anyone and say cancel Earl or anything of that vein. I said, this is problematic. What can we do? I have been, let's start here. When I saw things happening, I felt really bad for her because I can't imagine like waking up one day and not being able to be a part of this community. And we have our ups and we have our downs, but at the end of the day, this is kind of my virtual home. I love you guys all so much. And, when I'm talking to a lot of people behind the scenes about, what I want to do here and the direction I want things to go, it is always with um, my friends, like those of you in the side chat, like who I really do consider to be my friends. And, this is for you. Um, and it's by you. There's a lot of people I could, I could hit up a lot of people who I know that you guys like, but I don't really consider to be part of our community. This is our community, and this is for us and by us. And I want it to be something that we all enjoy. And that's a thing that's not lost on me, that when we get assholes through here, it's got to be a place where people are feel accepted and can feel free to be their true authentic self. That is a high priority for me. And when we see people like Earl that are coming through, the goal was, and I think anybody who either saw the messages, Crystal was in the conversation too. When they're looking at that, I think that you do see that we were trying to say, hey, no, it's not like that. And I actually, the way that I got pulled into the whole, my understanding of trans rights and everything like that was because I publicly made some bad statements. And I got treated the same way. It was just like, no, no, that's not what this is. It's actually like this. We're not transing the kids. This is, gender affirming care. I didn't, I don't have like IRL, well, I guess technically Bree now since we've met, but just there weren't a lot of people around me in my life that I could talk to. I didn't know what were credible sources. But when I was told, no, it's not like that, it's like this, and then people gave me resources, and I said, hey, wow, okay. I shut up. I listened. I read. I try to do all the things that I would want someone to do if I went to them and said, hey, da 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 da, the Black community. Earl didn't do that. Earl doubled down. And she is still doing that to this day. And I'm very, what I said back then and what I'm saying now is that I'm very concerned about her inability to take accountability. We're not really, this community isn't really big on cancel culture. When I think about people that have been quote unquote canceled, let's think about like Skylar Fiction, or let's think about Pine Creek Doug. They weren't canceled, and certainly not by me. And even though I've been very open and honest about how I feel about both of those individuals, um, there's nothing that I did that got the rest of the community to say, hey, these aren't people that I find credible or that I feel comfortable listening to. And if something happened and they were like, hey, you know what? I was wrong. I was a jackass. Um, I I changed my mind. I want to promote unity and openness and acceptance, and I want to be an affirming, loving person. There's nothing that I could do that would keep Skylar or Doug from re-entering the community or being loved by the community, because despite whatever the fuck is going on in Earl's head, I don't have that actual kind of power. I know that, Earl, I, man, she's been kicked out of a lot of places. Like, she was kicked out of the line. Like, she was a mod on the line and was kicked out. She was also had something going on MDD and was kicked out. And this was before I even knew about her. So, like, to say it feels weird that she's putting all this stuff on me when she's been getting kicked out of communities for shitty behavior well before we even met. And again, I'm only bringing this up because I had like 10 people in my DMs all day today because she was saying mean things about me. And I don't care. I have not looked at her work. I won't. I'm just going to say my side of the story. And then I'm never going to think about her again. I swear to God, because she's not going to change, right? It just is what it is. I want her to. I want her to, because we need all the people we can get. If we see somebody out there, and I've been very open about this, like we don't let people go. We don't just cut people off. We have the conversation. And I don't care if it's hard for you. Um, you might be the one person that can bring that person around. And yeah, I understand you absolutely have the right to your righteous indignation. But if this is somebody that could conceivably be brought over, then I believe you should try. And I can honestly say with Earl, I did try. I wanted her to understand what she was saying, the impact of what she was saying. I wanted, my efforts were in an effort to keep her in the community. And there were people who knew her, knew of her, did not believe that she would change, and said, you know what, if she's going to change, she's not going to be allowed here until I see that happen. And that's what happened to Earl. I'll admit to trolling her. When all the shit was going on, I put out a meme from Elena from Game of Thrones that said, tell Cersei, I want her to know it was for me. And it was just kind of like this snide thing because I thought it was comical at first that she was blaming me for everybody cutting her off. And now I really just feel sad for her because um, this is really something I think that's going to keep her back in life. And if it were me, I'd be devastated. I couldn't imagine going online and feeling like I couldn't go to my friends' shows and talk and joke and laugh, that I couldn't hit the live button and know that, I'd at least have double digits of you here. And it was because of something I did that would tear me up. And the reason I am so fierce is because I can't see bullshit happening and know that there's something I could do that could keep you guys safe, happy, that could keep the community together. I've seen this community torn apart a couple of times. I don't want to see it happen again. I saw it happen with the ACA. I saw it happen with Steve McRae. Um, I it's heartbreaking, and I've seen people leave the community because of it. And if there was something I could have done that could have just if there was something I could have done that would just snatch Steve McRae out of the community before he caused this huge rift that happened before he left, I would have been all about that. But I didn't see it. I didn't have the influence. I didn't know. And I don't want to see it again. So I'm going to step up and I'm going to speak out. And I'm going to do it every time. And I hope you guys always know that I do it for love. And I know that there's some kind of jealousy going on with Earl. I'm not really sure what it is. I think it's because of my presence in the community. Um, I think she wants to kind of have that presence, that influence on the community. And she's the only one that's holding herself back with that. I I hope I have about a good understanding of where I'm at with people in the community. I think you guys, I know that I do some things that rub people the wrong way, and I think you let me do it because you know where I'm coming from, and that it's always from a loving place, and that whenever I'm vocal, it's because I see injustice, and that it's something I won't tolerate. And I think you guys respect me for it. And I think you guys know, well, I know that a lot of you know because I see a lot of your DMs where it's just like, hey, I just want you to know that this person's doing this, and it's because that I'm going to be on the front lines with you when the shit hits the fan. I'm going to be out there. I'm going to be doing this. I'm going to do all of the things because I love you and I want to keep this community together and thriving. That's important to me. And you, if you're watching right now, you are important to me. Um, and as long as I draw breath, I'm just not going to put up with this big of bullshit. When Trump got into office, I'm like, you know what, fuck it. I'm right down the street from Washington. If you get me on a high building, I can see the city. I can see the city skyline. I'll be marching down the street. And if calling my congressman and fighting the good fight doesn't work, then I'm going to be helping man the Underground Railroads. I already said that. Like, that was the first week. Because I'm here to see people grow and thrive and be happy and live their best lives. And I think that's the part that Earl doesn't get. She thinks, oh, well, people like Maya because Maya is nice. And I'm like, it's not, I'm not always nice. And most people know that. People respect me because I have principles that I stand on, that align and resonate with them. And they know that they can count on me to have their back when they're at their lowest. That whatever it is that I can do, I will do. And that's why I'm loved. That's why I'm the goddess. And Earl is too selfish to be that. As much as I'd love to end this telling her to eat a bag of dicks, I'm going to say I wish you the best. I hope you get the help you need, and I hope you receive the love you need to heal. And now I'm going to stop thinking about you because you're not worth my time.
This holiday, grab some eggnog. Let's gather around the fireplace and celebrate the birth of our blessed Lord with the soothing sounds of a very special Darth Dawkins Christmas collection. 753 wonderful hits.
Here we go. Shut the fuck up. You're totally clueless, so stop with the shtick. Don't ever talk me, you're being rude. I'm old enough to be your fucking father, dude. Shut the fuck up.
All your favorites are here, in one spectacular collection.
You come into my room and mute me. Restore my mic, you fucking troll. Doobie's a fucking asshole I can't tolerate anymore. I've had to quit this server 4 fucking times before.
Digitally remastered and expertly rendered in high-quality audio. Never before has such a splendid compilation been put together.
So the problem with homosexuals is that God made male for females. The Bible is very clear. Don't be queer, don't be queer, don't be queer. Thank you. Bing, 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 bing.
Order with your credit card in the next 30 minutes, and if you manage to successfully render an argument for intelligibility within your godless worldview, you'll receive a beautifully decorated King James Bible, along with your own personally autographed copy of Dawkins' Presuppositionalist Guide, Crushing Atheism. Absolutely free. Merry Christmas, and a blessed New Year.
Boom! You're not server muted. Get out of my room.
All right. So who do we have? Wait, I think it's one of the Men in Black.
I think it's one of the Men in Black. Yeah.
Wait, that's not Mr. Anderson. Oh, wait a minute. I can't hear him.
You're muted.
Yeah.
That was the Illuminati. Sorry about that.
I see it. I see it. Ha, ha, ha.
I don't want to hear any ha's, any LOLs, any smiling or laughing in this stream, okay? Because unlike the typical Bad Science Sundays, this is not going to be a laughing matter tonight. We're going to be talking about very, very serious subjects, such as racism and extraterrestrials. So I have been tasked by an agency that will remain unnamed to just go ahead and use the Men in Black mind warping plan at the end of this to just go ahead and wipe everyone's memories who's listening. So everyone listening, I need you to stay till the very end, okay?
Hey, that's an order.
And no smiling, no LOLs, no LMAOs in the chat, okay? This is serious tonight, okay?
Serious business.
Normally,
And
it seems like Maya and Tap here enjoy debunking bad science on Sundays and have fun, and we all can share a laugh, but not tonight, okay? Tonight is serious business.
We have to lie back, look up, and just think of England, right?
I don't know what he's talking about, but exactly.
All right. I think Maya does, though.
Grayson, would you like to do the elevator pitch? Where they can find you, or, for those who are with us have not gone to bed yet.
Right. Well, my civilian name is Grayson Locke. You can find my channel on YouTube where I debunk pseudoscience and generally am an enthusiast for science, history, philosophy, etc. And I talk about all kinds of neat stuff. If you're into that kind of thing, check it out. I also debunk bad science, but not tonight.
But not tonight. But also, oh, for fuck's sake. It's bad. For $2, The Sinister Purpose says the Ace Cabal is baking a special cake for him. I don't know what that was in reference to, but we do appreciate you so much.
We appreciate your very serious, non-joking comment.
Very serious, Sinister Purpose only makes serious, non-joking comments, for sure. And then
I would just like to say that I completely endorse this focus on being serious and expressing that both with our words and with our actions and with our presentation.
I'm just sorry for everyone for next week. Tap will no longer be able to join us going forward after this stream. He had something come up. I apologize in advance.
Oh.
It's not a laughing matter, Tapioca Weasel, if that is your real name.
For $10, Nitty says, please let the queen, let's please the queen with some Nitty money. Thank you, Nitty. I love Nitty money. Is that anything like titty money?
Nitty loves titties.
Actually, well, you know what? And it was so funny. My aunt was the first person to tell me, my aunt was the first person to tell me about titty money. And so me and my daughter were just like, titty money? No. Yeah, she was going to give my daughter some titty money. And I was like, what the fuck is she talking about? And she was like, it's titty money. So it's money you put in your titty.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was like, I had a...
And this we have done. I just didn't call it titty money. You can't bring a purse when you go out because it can be stolen. You can be too drunk to remember where you left it. It just, purses are problematic. So you put it in with your titties because worst case scenario, you forget where you put your money, but your money's still on you. And, it's not like lost. Also, when people pick pockets, they don't pick bras. So, yeah, your titties are really safe space.
Important PSA.
Oh, we do have some other stuff going on here, though. Before we get started,
did we already do the who are you and where are you? I can't remember.
Yes, he just did
yes. Well, there's a specific reason why you cannot remember, Tap.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God.
Why don't we have Grayson on more?
Oh, you do. You just don't remember.
Okay.
Allegedly.
All right. So, Sinister Purpose. I believe she got re-gifted or no. She remembered.
It's a membership. Did she do a membership milestone, chat? Is that what it is?
Yes.
Okay.
She's been a member She's been the closest for 6 months. Thank you, Sinister Porpoise. Also, Jillian bit the bullet. She is now a member for 1 month. And you know what, Jillian? I was tired of seeing you being dirty white too, or was it off-white, gray? What does that call it?
Dark white.
Dark white, yes. So Jillian said, you know what? Fuck it. I will buy it myself. She is a member for 1 month. Welcome to the cult.
I think we are going to be talking about the dark whites tonight.
Jillian, please enjoy your tapioca weasels, your nitties and vaginas. But also, Jester has been a cultist for 10 months. Holy shit. I feel honored, Jester. Thank you so much. And also, Jedi has been a member for 10 months. Jester and Jedi, don't know what we do without you. Please never let us find out. Please, and also please enjoy your tapioca weasels, your Jedis, and nitties. God damn it. Your nitties and vaginas. $2. Jillian Flappy Ribs Wren says, have a very serious birthday to me present. Is it Jillian's birthday? Is that what's going on? All right.
I don't know what
if it is Jillian's birthday, then happy birthday, Jillian. Oh my God. I am very happy that you sailed around the sun with us for a whole nother year.
Allegedly.
Jillian's birthday is Friday. All right. So, birthday girl. And man, I'm missing a bunch of stuff.
You have one from Doc.
Yeah, no, I'm just trying to find them because, like, I like to highlight them, but
stop giving us so much money.
Mux doesn't always like. What do you call it? Like, show it. So, I don't know. $2. Jester says, "Why so serious, Grayson?" That's a question for you.
Tonight's video is no laughing matter, as you.
Oh yeah, definitely not. Definitely not.
It's not going to be like the normal bad science that is normally covered on.
That is true, actually.
Ain't your mama's bad science. For $10, Left-Handed Jedi says, and now you know, titties. Yeah, boy. For $2, Doc Dino says, Maya, please have your servant read what I sent him. You sent things?
So Doc Dino sent me a message on Discord. I don't know how to share it in the normal way, so I do just have to kind of read it, and then I can open the picture and then share that.
Okay.
But
let's
he wanted to, and last time I said this, I may have misspoke and implied something more than I did. Whoever donates the most to the stream tonight gets to give a nickname to this awesome dinosaur skeleton. I found another one recently, and she needs a name. This is a contest to name, not a contest to name the species, just this individual. And there's this awesome
Yakub.
David Yakub.
You're gonna have to donate then if you want to name it. So this here.
Let's do this and this.
Apparently, I think my understanding is that that Doc has found a specimen of something like this. Is that correct, Doc? Because that's big. Holy crap, those things are huge.
Yeah.
Look at how big those neck bones are. They're like as big as
Yakub's head.
They're not that big. But yeah. So
it's depressing.
Why are you laughing, Maya? Maya, why are you laughing at Yakub's head?
I would never.
That's what I thought.
Doc is a fantastic, awesome person. And since apparently I was tasked to keep on reading, you know, what he said, he does want to know also if Maya is okay with saying it. Venmo is still at Doc Dino if anyone wants to send support for future field work. Hunting dinos can be expensive. So.
Okay, I'll tell you what I will do. We'll one of the mods, please put Doc Dino's channel in the live chat, please. And Doc Dino, will you please tell us when you are going live next so people will know when to go over there, shower you with cash, and so that they can get their chance to name, go down in history naming your dinosaur skeleton.
Yeah, this, you know,
All
they're
right.
so big. Why are they so big? Okay, so
That's what she said.
this
Regios. Okay, we'll hold. Oh wait, no. Ugh.
we should start the
We should
video.
start the video, but
It's
I do
been
want to
30
say,
minutes.
I do want to thank Regios because Regios gives us so much money for giving us 5 new cult members, and that went to Ember, friend of the show, Wave of Mutilation, goodness, Antarctic Fox, Prixie Purple, and Mark Reed.
Yay! Wave of
Very
mutilation.
serious
Yay.
celebration.
All right, so I do see the other like 4 or 5 things that happen. We're gonna get to them. It has been like half an hour.
Okay, yeah. So we're gonna blitz through this. The title of the video: "The Scientists Who Changed History Forever." Yakub, the Untold Story, which is 2 titles for the record. This is from this channel OSM. The rest of it's cut off because I had to zoom in, and they have 80.7 thousand subscribers, and this video has 88,000 views and is from like 5 days ago.
Yeah. Let me just.
Well, that's pretty impressive, actually. Yeah.
Let me actually get serious here for a second and say that in all seriousness, this might be the most insane video I have ever seen on YouTube. So
you didn't watch the Archaeogenetics video, did you?
I shared it with Maya, and she said, of course, we would never cover something so insane. And then she just eventually said, okay, why not? Fuck it. And here we are. So I just want to apologize for everyone because the amount of insanity that you're about to be exposed to is potentially lethal, and that is my fault.
Yeah.
It is all Grayson's fault.
Yeah.
This is not a show that no people are harmed in the making of. Multiple people are harmed every week in the making of this show. Mostly us.
Drink up.
You can potentially be harmed tonight too, so just be on your guard.
Let me know if I need to slow it down, okay?
You sure?
About
Just go.
Yakub, the big head.
Yeah, so this is what we're talking about. Yakub, the big head scientist.
You're asking that question about Yakub, the big head scientist. That is such a big story that I think I'm going to read some stuff because it's a very big story, right? So you can find that story for those who have the Holy Tablets, right? In chapter 16, the Underworld. That's the chapter. The name of the chapter is chapter 16, the Underworld. And you can see.
Oh, what are we looking at here? Does it matter?
We are looking at Sinister's purpose. Sinister's question to you: how do I use magnets to erase my memories of watching Terence Howard say pi is a whole number in circles of corners?
I forget.
If you stick around to the end of this stream, your memories will be wiped for free.
Yup. Boom.
A picture there of the Donakil. Now, I'm going to read some information. The best book really that goes into the details of the Yakub story is the book called Shambhala and Agatha, Cities Within, right? The Cities Within, because the planet Earth is hollow.
Oh, cities right? within the Earth. Oh, Doc, this is right up your alley.
I am a student of the hollow Earth truth of reality.
Oh. I actually went deep down into the rabbit hole trying to figure out what the fuck this video even is today. And the things I discovered are just mind-blowing. First of all, I've never had so much difficulty researching anything on the internet before. Like,
really?
They have actually covered their tracks here. They've deleted all the websites, all the Wikipedia pages, nothing. So I found out that this YouTube channel used to be a London-based music and media group that was like putting out rap videos like 10 years ago. Yeah, if you look at their channel, their most popular views are like a mix of this guy giving crazy talks from the last 12 months, and then like 10 years ago, a bunch of rap videos from London. And at some point, they transitioned from a music and media group to just a cult. And I don't know when that happened, but I did some research, and this guy talks about his master who taught this guy everything, and he's now the guru, the sensei at this OSM London-based group. And he's the one that's the one that says the master, the teacher on this channel. And he says that his master, he hasn't named it, but they call themselves it was like the United Sumerians. And when I looked that up, that is a renaming of an old cult from like the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and 2000s. And that's where all this comes from. So it was this guy named White York, and he started this whole thing in like the 70s, and he was the one, like, he took the Nation of Islam kind of ideology and then introduced UFOs and aliens and inner earth to it from a sci-fi magazine from the 40s. That apparently this guy was writing this science fiction magazine, and one of the readers came in and said, listen, I discovered an ancient proto-human language and only I can speak it, and it's revealed deep truths about the aliens that are living inside the earth. And the guy was like, how do you know this? Sign me up. And like, he became convinced. He was fired from the science fiction magazine because he was insisting that his stories were real. And then like, eventually this all like over the next 80 years will build into this video that we are watching now, where you're going to learn all about his deep insights about the aliens that live on the inner earth and how they created white people.
But one of them created white people.
Yes, and we're going to figure out why. And really quick, before the last thing, I just want to read the charges that the founder of this cult was charged with back in 2004 when they confiscated his property, which was a massive compound with its own pyramid and sphinx on it. Because
was it structuring?
Yeah, no, it wasn't structuring. It's a little bit worse than that. Let me see. His case was reported as the largest prosecution for child molestation ever directed at a single person in the history of the United States, both in terms of the number of victims and the number of incidents. So that's why they've rebranded. That's why they don't say who the name of the old cult leader was. And like, this guy has a new made-up name named Second, and he just refers to his master, his teacher. He never names him. And that's why they changed the name of the cult from the old one to now they don't even say their name, actually. They are very careful not to describe anything about them or to link any websites or even have an about page where you can read about who they even are.
You know, as much as I hate it, way to like denounce pedophilia. Like, holy shit, though. God. We have a whole like political party that won't do that.
Well, I don't know if there's so much as denouncing it as just trying to pretend it never happened,
yeah.
and hide it and distract from it so nobody knows about it.
But, you know, they did distance themselves and kick the PDF file out. So,
oh no, they didn't kick
more
him out.
Than the Republicans are doing.
Pause, Maya. They did not kick him out. They insist to this day that he is free and that he is innocent of all charges.
Oh, okay.
This man is still.
You should have led with that.
Yeah. Sorry, the guy that started this all back in the 60s and 70s is like, he's in his 80. I think he's about to be 80 years old, and he's still in federal prison to this day. And they say that he's innocent and never did any of that. So no, they're just as bad.
Okay. Yeah. Very nice. Well, we here do not advocate any PDF files here, and you will never see them in my community and or in my side chat. And
fantastic question. So that's this guy's master?
Yes, that's this guy learned everything he knows from that PDF file.
Okay.
Diagram called the Hollow Earth, but that diagram explains.
And there's a map of the inside of the Earth, so you can see what is inside the Earth, where all these ancient alien races live.
In the Earth.
And you can see, if you zoom in there, you see that you can enter the interior of the Earth in Kentucky. There's Mammoth Cave there in Kentucky.
Oh yeah,
Joe?
you can.
That's the
Oh,
entrance.
I was not aware.
Yeah.
Is Joe
So-
still here?
Is Joe still here? Joe,
Joe,
you did not tell us that we could get inside the Earth from Kentucky. God damn it. Robin, are you still here?
Yeah, we need somebody to. Oh, yeah, there. Yeah, somebody in the chat is asking, is it the Nubian nation? Yes, these people are the Nubians. That's the cult today. That's what they call themselves sometimes.
How could they not tell us? I feel so like.
Oh, if you ever want to lose faith in humanity, Maya, read the comments for this video where everybody's praising him for being such a great teacher and getting all this important information.
Look,
Yeah, we don't do that.
It wasn't even a whole month ago yet that I lived through a very disturbing election. Maybe we'll do that in give me another month. We'll see how I feel. But I'm just already so nihilistic about mankind. So
well, that's okay, because we're gonna learn about other races that are not mankind.
Yeah, because that's possible.
Because the planet Earth is hollow, right? And there's a diagram called the hollow Earth. But that diagram explains about how the planet is hollow. And when we say hollow, there are actually caverns. So depending on how far you're digging down into the center of the Earth, there are caverns on the way. And that map called the hollow Earth, you can Google it and you see it. There are caverns in between, not right in the center, but in between as you're going down. Many, many different caverns. And those caverns have been there for a long time.
You can Google it, therefore it's true.
And you have different extraterrestrials that live there. And the Donarkil,
They're not extraterrestrials, they're subterrestrial.
No. They are extraterrestrial. That they came from outside of the Earth, from various stars and galaxies, and then moved into the interior of the Earth.
I hate this.
Well, it's okay because no humans are indigenous to the Earth. We all originate from the stars or from hybrid crossings of the inner Earth aliens. He explains at the end of this video, he explains every single race and where they originate from.
Yeah, we're gonna have to skip to that after we get through some of the introduction.
Yeah.
And then come back because we're not gonna cover this whole video.
No. Ain't nobody gets on for that.
one of those.
Yeah,
things.
it's 24 minutes.
Yeah.
I think
Donarkil,
there's some people here who would love for us to cover the whole video.
who I've shown a picture of, is one of those beings. Then you have the Duanis. Yeah, the Duanis.
What?
They look,
What?
The Duanis.
What?
Oh, guess what race is related to the Duanis? The descendants of the hairy gremlin people.
Oh, God,
Okay,
of course.
I'm not going to answer that. There's no answer that I can give to that.
You
That's
should not guess on that.
problematic.
No, I can't imagine. It's just, can't imagine. Don't guess
the
that.
seeds
It's a trick.
is a safe
No, it's
one.
a
It's
trap.
obviously not.
It's
the
a
seeds.
trap. You don't want to guess.
Exactly.
yeah, the Duanis, they look like that. They're like porcupine beings. They are very smart.
They're porcupine beings.
You have the Teros. Yeah, the Teros,
Sorry,
they look like that. These are like
These
cone
heroes.
head.
So yeah, these are the cone heads from Saturday Night Live.
You would
Yeah,
have seen in,
there are
Star Trek
actual
and certain-
cone heads.
You have the Teros. Yeah, the Teros, they look like that. These are like the cone that you would in Star Trek and certain movies that depict these different beings. But the Earth has a grid system, right? As you can see there. This
It's a grid system, and you may know this from every esoteric thing you've ever seen. It's like all the pyramids, they align on the grid, and then you get that pyramid splooge energy, because they're on the grid. This grid, actually.
It's not. Is that even a grid?
Yes, it's the Earth's grid system. It is one and the same.
That's a graph. Is it a grid though?
Look, everybody in the woo-woo community says yes.
Yeah, that is
And you know
negative.
it is because
That's
of them
like
constantly
negative
calling it a
evidence,
grid.
Maya.
All the pyramids are on the
use the
grid.
word
You know
qual-
this. We've been through this. And that's how you
Maya,
get the splooge energy.
Maya, please kick me off the panel.
There's so much information. I'm just building up to then go into that story of Yakub, because Yakub, who's referred to as the big head scientist,
And you take this seriously?
There's only one way to take this.
I'm sorry. Yes.
The
This
answer is always aliens. And one of those aliens was the big head scientist. God, is this still?
No, Maya. Yakub was not an alien. Okay, he was a specific hybrid child of two of the alien species on the inner Earth.
Then
That
go into that
explains the
story
shape of his head.
of Yakub, because Yakub, who's referred to as the big head scientist, he came about as a product of a mixture between
two
the
brains.
Donarchial and the Teros. So yeah, that whole chapter.
You have to have like
chapter
a big head to hold all that brains.
Well, yeah. So
I mean,
what Maya is saying is completely accurate and serious. Yakub had two different brains in one head. That's why his head is so big. And
also, did you know the brains could just spontaneously combust? I know we haven't gotten to this yet. I was shocked.
I can't believe you actually watched this whole thing.
Twice.
I'm so sorry. I didn't even watch this whole thing.
Thanks, Grayson.
Say the quiet part out loud. Me neither. But like the chat knows that about me. The chat knows
you're very honest about not.
Yeah.
I was trying to find some way out of it. It was just like, I guess we're going with this.
Well, Maya, like one of us has to like do the bare minimum of work and like review the video we're gonna watch, and like it's obviously not gonna be me. Okay, so
16 in the Holy Tablets goes into it, and the book Shambhala and Agatha, Cities Within, that goes into more detail. But what I'm going to do is, again, from even the Melaninite children, which is scroll number 133.
Is this real? The Melaninite?
Is this real? Grayson, would you like to answer that question?
The answer is yes, Tab. This is very real and very serious.
This is like if somebody like took the transcript of a bunch of parody shows and then just said, this is my new religious belief.
My favorite part about this is actually the fact that there's no author listed, because they don't want you to be able to know who wrote this.
No, it was clearly God.
Oh, God.
That goes into, so what I'm going to do is just read an excerpt.
This is why we have a why are you like this emoji, by the way, chat. So
yeah.
And then talk about Yakub. All right, so the question on page 43 says descendants of the Deros, right? It shows you that the Deros, which I didn't mention, but they're like the obese-looking types of beings. But then there's a question. You mentioned two other groups of beings earlier. The Donarchial, all right? I'm going to write some of the words that are quite hard to maybe know. So the Donarchial and the Terror.
Well, I mean, there's a whiteboard.
There is. I mean, which, like, how does that not give this all the credence in the world?
Some of my favorite comments were like, thank you so much. This video clarified so much for me. Now I get it. Oh, okay. It's the Donarchial and the Teros had a hybrid with two brains who was not one of the Durrani. Those guys are related to somebody else.
Well, I mean, yeah, gratitude for this right on time post. I found this video after trying to explain who Yakub was to my son. I have shared this video with him.
Oh, God.
I would absolutely love
what
to
state
know
is this
how
person
that
in?
works.
I need to call Child Protective Services.
They're in some sort of like psychotic or delusional state.
Well, wait,
that's not what you meant.
It's like half our fucking
throw out
states.
allegations, okay? I just got to be very clear here that the Tero and the Darrow, to go back to that science fiction writer that I was explaining, and he got it from a guy who was never actually diagnosed with schizophrenia, even though several experts did say that he was exhibiting schizophrenia-like symptoms. But I mean, that's just hearsay, okay? So let's not defame, okay? This very legitimate source discovered a proto-human alien and shared it with a science fiction writer who then shared it to this guy, and now we're learning about it as fact, okay? Just accept that, and let's move on.
All right.
Nobody knows, Jillian.
It's risk. This is where our master teacher comes from as well, right? It says the 8th planet risk.
I don't know what this is. I don't
That's
care.
the 8th planet, Risk.
Yes, it's the 8th planet Risk, where the Donaki originally come from before they moved into the hollow inside of the Earth.
Duh.
So
it's right there on the star map. I don't know what you're not getting about this.
Yeah.
I talked with my mom on Thanksgiving recently, and she was like, I watched some of the last episode, but you guys move so fast, and I never understand like what the
You can
person
put
you're
it on half the
responding
speed.
to. Well, you're right, but Maya,
It's
I
not
don't
going to
have a
help.
choice here.
I'm just saying, it's my whole point. It's my only point.
You're right, but the part. The problem is that my mom is expecting a certain amount of coherency to the underlying thing that we're talking about.
What do we do? We did fucking Elon Musk. Like, there's no, like, that's not, no, look, all right, Mom, I love you too. But, okay, the topic, I believe, was CERN being a demonic portal, and like
According
Elon,
to Elon.
yeah.
Oh, by the way, this
Look,
guy
we
has
can
some
only
thoughts.
work with what they give us.
This guy does
Yeah.
have some thoughts on the Large Hadron Collider as well.
Oh God.
Of the 19th galaxy, Ilion. Ilion is ILLYU. Ilion, right? That's the name of the galaxy. Have an abundance of
That's
melanin in their
Welsh.
skin, for they are related to your forefathers, the woolly-haired beings, those who bear 9 ether, the Anunnaki, right? Again, remember, these terms, this is when he was still teaching us the Sumerian doctrine and the terms that were being used, such as Anunnaki or Elohim, which we obviously know there are different species. And
I've never seen the word Anunnaki or the word Elohim spelled like this. Maybe that's not uncommon though.
I don't
No.
know. I
What?
have not. I don't know what he's reading from. Maybe that's how they spelled it in their book. I don't know.
Let me just say that later on in this video, he's going to spell Jew with a G. So I think they're
Okay.
they're just winging the spellings at this point.
Point taken.
Oh God.
you know, we know them as the Paleontology today, all right? They're descendants of us, all right, who are the Shuyuk. The Shuyuk, that's spelled S-H-U-Y.
Who are these
UKH.
24 elders?
The Shuyuk, these are the elders, right?
The
The
Shield?
elders, the Riskians.
They're the
Riskians.
Yeah, they're from the 8th planet Risk. Have you not been following along from the galaxy?
We're in the galaxy.
Okay, so we have a
Iliad.
whole planet. Okay, this sounds like Black Islamic Mormonism. That's what it sounds like.
This is the Silmarillion. Okay, we're going into all the deep lore here.
It says
I mean, it is a history of Middle Earth, right? Because it's hollow.
Wait,
No,
of
we're
our
in the
high-
planet. Look, try to follow along. We're on the planet
it's on
Risk,
this very planet.
and we're going
Sorry.
through the 24 elders on the planet Risk.
See,
This is
Maya gets it.
important because of something in the inner Earth, which is possible because reasons.
Yes. See, Maya gets it. And
Maya
that's
gets
because-
it because she's smarter than me.
Exactly.
I
Okay.
am.
That's
I
the
am.
point I just wanted to make, Tap. And you know what? I don't want to say anything against your mom, but listen, okay? Tap, we are about to learn who on the panel is a failed genetic inferior experiment and who on the panel is the superior race. I'll just leave it at that.
The failed people are white people. Okay. Yeah,
I didn't want to say it, but
I can say it.
yeah, you can say it.
Why is this muted?
Right? So remember when I'm saying that book's called Shambhala, which actually means centered by Allah, depending on which language you're using to translate that word Shambhala.
It does.
And that's the book I was referring to. Okay. The center of the earth
Wait,
is a
real
special
quick.
base.
I want to clarify. When he says depending on which language you use to decipher it, they're including their own made-up language in that. Like these people have their own little Klingon made-up language, and they say
that's
the
awesome.
hidden meaning of these words is when you decipher them into our made-up language. So
Well, then you can just get away with anything.
that's why they're changing all the spellings.
So we're in section 5. Do we want to keep going here, or do we
Yeah,
want
we
to
don't have
skip
to start. We don't have to talk about that. I think we said we wanted to skip over the genetics, but I did want to. Did we want to talk about the different people? I think that might actually be important.
I want to
When
get
they
to
start showing like
there's a part where he starts talking about the fugal rods. I would like to talk about the fugal rods.
okay.
I'll see if I can find where he gets that
I
because
found it. I found it.
In their skin are descendants of the Shuyuk. And those that lack melanin are the descendants of the Flugerods, right? So the Flugerods,
Those that lacked melanin are the descendants of the fugal rods.
here's a depiction of the fugal rods, who were the first white people.
Flugel, yeah.
And
Oh wow!
Yeah.
These are vampires.
they're like little ogre trolls.
No,
Yeah,
look, they're
look at-
white devils. Like,
Yes.
They got the vampire teeth
no,
though.
look, they're white devils. Like, is this your first time hearing that term?
Yeah, you've never
What?
heard
It
of
cannot be a black thing. You've never heard of the white devil? These are clearly white devils.
Yeah, you might be familiar with the term flugelrod.
the Flugerods are a species of Europeans, if you want to look at that, use that term, that came before the Canaanites. Yeah? Or from Canaan. These were like 2,400 years before.
Yeah, because when I think of Canaanites, I totally think Europeans. Like, maybe technically, depending on where you divide a thing, certainly not nowadays, though.
They're not in any sense.
They're not, no. The only way you could get there is if you say, oh, all of the stuff surrounding the Mediterranean is Europe, which is remarkably dumb.
I didn't want to be the bearer of bad news, but
Yes, you did. Don't lie.
We do actually have Canaanite ancient DNA, and I'm sorry to inform you all of this, but they're 100% Flugelrod.
Oh man.
No, actually, in reality, they're just indigenous to the Levant. They're Middle Eastern people. They're not blonde. They're not Flugelrodonians. They're just Middle Eastern indigenous people to that area. So kind of like, black hair, dark eyes, olive or darker skin. So
For the Canaanites or the Canaanites, and they were 8,400 years before, right? So they would have been 8,400 years ago.
You had to start further over on the board. Okay, this is why you don't put a table right there. Your whiteboard discipline is extremely poor.
Are dealing with 6,000 years ago. So that's why 2,400 difference in terms of the time. Okay, so let's carry on. So it says that of the Shuyuk, and those that lack melanin are the descendants of the Flugerods or the Halabines or Hulub.
I made the comment on a different still, not this one, that we could have literally done an entire episode just on one still of this book.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah. It's like you say the Tiro who have melanin in their skin are descendants of the Shukaya, and those that lack the melanin are the descendants of the Flugerods, the Halabines, or Hulub. Do you mean that the two tribes mixed, or are they the product of one or the other, as in the case of the Adamites? Oh yeah, the Adamites are a different tribe. So the answer is the chief of the Dunakil, called
Rabboni.
Rabboni Fukur,
the Black Seed, married a Sunnian Tiro.
How is
this an answer? He starts talking about completely different tribes. The question was, did the white people interbreed, pretty much?
Yeah.
Did white people interbreed? And he starts talking about these brown tribes that established caverns and peace.
Okay, I didn't.
Did he hear the question?
No, Maya. My point. I'm gonna.
No. Yeah, no. I could do a solid half hour just on this.
This is my.
I followed 100% of everything that had been happening up till this point, but now I'm confused.
That's what happens when you let Maya explain things.
Look, this is what happens when you read stupid shit, which is why I won't do it. For $2, Mark Agamotto says, so when do we lecture on anti-magnetism?
Well, if you keep on donating money, you can name the skeleton.
Tab, can we go to the origin of Down syndrome next at 7:20
Holy
seconds?
shit. All right. Sandring spent a lot of money and has been waiting a very long time to say, long live Bad Science Sunday. My birthday was November. Wait, was that your birthday too?
Yes, that's my birthday. My birthday is also November 9th. We're birthday buddies.
Your birthday buddies. And I'm sure you were the exact same age, right? Sandring, wink, wink. And thank you for that $20. Keep it coming. We missed you last week and the week before and the week before.
He looks like 2 or 3 years older than me.
So if we want to skip to the part where he explains the origin of all the different races, actually, we could just do that at the end. It's at 42 minutes, and he does explain the origin of Down syndrome people along in that section. So,
it's
he explains it twice. Like at the end, he kind of summarizes his thoughts.
Do we want to do the whole summary?
We actually do have a theory on the origin of Down syndrome, and I'm willing to bet that the two.
It involves alien interbreeding, Maya. So I'll just
should we skip to the part that's just the summary of the Yakub story?
Yeah, at this point,
we can
summary.
So what we're going to do now, chat, is we're going to skip to this summary part. I don't know why I keep explained it that way. That sounded really stupid.
This person that people are calling Yakub, but just to tie it all up in a nutshell, we're saying that this person that people are calling Yakub, or the big head scientist, he came about by way of two different races that were living in the caverns in the world known as Shambhala, where you have many beings that coincide and live there. You had the Deros, who are the obese looking, and you had the Teros, which are the kind of like cone head looking beings. And they were always fighting each other. But the Teros were supposed to really keep the Deros in check, because the Deros are very aggressive, unruly, etc. Now, because of war going on between them all the time, the Donarchil, they sought to have peace by mixing in with the Teros. And so what they did was, gave a daughter from one tribe to the other. And that daughter wasn't happy because she wanted to marry amongst her own, which were Teros, right? The cone-shaped ones. And so she ran away. But so the mixture, the child that was born between her and the leader's brother, Fuqa's brother.
Well, I thought she didn't want to, though.
Yeah, she doesn't, but it was a
she doesn't want to. She wants to marry like another Taro. Yeah, but
the Taro and the Darrow are.
She's just a woman, and we aren't allowed to decide who we want to marry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Maya read all of this directly from the sacred text. Come on, Tab, keep up.
Well, I'm also black, and so
I'm not very smart, guys.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah.
Do you know who is smart? Left-handed Jedi, who's given us 10 more cult members. Holy shit. That is Yakub type big brain shit. Thank you, Jedi. And that went to alias fake name, James Nordoff, DM Magnus Can Evolve. Wait, what's the whole thing here? DM Magnus Can Evolve Wing. Okay, yeah.
You're damn right they can't.
I love it. Mr. Shadow Kitty, Chris McDaniel, Hunter Biden's laptop, friend of the show. Jefferson Spatchcock, friend of the show. Bethany Callahan, the Holy Spackle, friend of the show. And Rick. Whoa. That was some great aim there, Jedi.
Shout out to Hunter.
New and returning cultists, please enjoy your tapioca weasels, your nitties, and vaginas. And we were saying
they produced this child that was a mixture of the Donarchil, who have big heads, and the Teros, who have the cone heads. And what happened was that Yakub was the result of that birth. And because he had a big head, because he had two brains, and he was being teased by both sides, ridiculed, and he wasn't happy about it. So that there was an influence by the Pleiadians, who could actually telepathically.
Who are what?
Okay, yeah, I'm a little bit unclear on the Pleiadians who are still...
But they're from the Pleiades.
I think they still live in the Pleiades. They don't live in the Hollow Earth, but they can telepathically communicate, and they are also evil because they're you can tell they're evil. Just look at them right there.
Yeah, he looks like Anatar.
Yeah, he's blonde, blue-eyed, evil. And so he's telepathically communicating to Yakub, putting evil thoughts in his head to make Yakub, who's getting teased by these advanced alien races that are so advanced, but they're still teasing this guy for his big ass head. And
I believe that.
And now he's mad. He's mad at the world because he's bullied, but he thinks he's the smartest guy ever, and he's getting telepathic communications from an alien galaxy. And so you're following all that now, right, Tap? That cleared it
Oh
up?
yeah, totally.
Okay.
You know what I love about the
You don't
Pleiades?
answer for me, Maya. You know I didn't follow any of that. Okay, I'm far too smooth-brained.
You look like the Pleiadian there. So and they are clearly an
I,
advanced race.
my hair is nowhere near that long and luscious. It is that long. It is not that luscious though. It's kind of
Did
stringy
you
and
just take a
shitty.
shower? Why does it look wet?
No, it's just because I put too much product.
Okay, yeah, I don't care about your hair here. Anyways, so
Influenced
you
him.
know what's really interesting about the Pleiades is that it is a super young star cluster, and I don't know that life would have had time to evolve there specifically to the point to like develop technology to surpass us. Like I can't remember exactly how young really they are, but they're so young that like dinosaurs would have been able to look up in the night sky and see the star cluster forming. Like they're so fucking young. I don't know why. Like of all the stars in the sky, like those are the ones that.
Wow.
Yeah. Like wait. Did you?
150 to 75 million years
Yeah.
estimated age for the Pleiades.
Yeah.
I'll
Like
show you.
super young. Like not even a billion, not even 1 billion, not even
Not
close.
even
And
less than
they've
two.
evolved life. They formed, evolved life, and have surpassed our technology since they
Okay.
formed. Yeah.
I'll show you, okay?
Ooh.
On my not a whiteboard, but a map of the Milky Way.
Uh,
And you can
got us.
see here we are, and there the Pleiades right next door. So it's like super, super close to our star, our neighborhood here. And you can see
Ah,
they're right
cool.
next to the Orion Nebula, which is still
Uh-huh.
forming stars right now. So
I want that. Send it to me.
okay.
Can you guess what my obnoxious shitty gotcha question about that map is?
Is it a real picture?
Close enough, because obviously, like, where did they take that picture from? Would have been the question. Because,
Yeah.
yeah, obviously we're not there yet.
Obviously, they went a couple of billion years in the
But I can
air.
totally.
Actually, before you do that,
I thought you were going to yell at me for not doing it. So, yeah.
Uh, we have a lot of love in the chat tonight, and I just don't want people to feel like we're missing them. The apostate sisters, I'm trying to get them in for 2025. I know we go late, but I would be so honored if you would lose sleep for me. For $5, they say, "Thank you, Maya. We're enjoying getting to know your show."
His brain. He was very intelligent, obviously, because he had two brains. He finished school early, and because he was constantly being teased and ridiculed, he said he's going to create a being that was weak and wicked so that he will get his revenge and to prove to them that he was the god, because his plan was to create these beings and then kill them off after to
I feel like this doesn't end well for me.
You were a weak and wicked being created by a guy with two brains who was bullied too hard.
What? You know what? How can I weasel that out?
Personally, I think that explains everything, Dab.
Yeah.
show that he had control over them. Now, it wasn't just overnight, because the whole plan was to take his genes and his blood and to produce offspring, which would have come from the Donakil, being the melaninated beings, and obviously with the Teros, who would produce the brown germ. And then to take that, so what happened is all the children that were born, when they came, remember, this was done over a period of 600 years. Whilst he had to get followers, he had to basically build a crowd by preaching his doctrine and people that followed him. And he got ships, and he loaded his ships with his followers.
This is the Silmarillion.
Yep.
Oh my god. Sorry, let me just back up a.
Oh, hey, look what we did for Porpoise. Congrats, girl.
Wow. I mean, if we subtract one, that's a way more like satisfying number.
I think it's
power of 2.
257 is satisfying. So
Yeah, but that's
Sorry, what were you gonna say?
From the Donakil.
I was making a joke about powers of 2. Because anyway,
Take his genes and his blood, and to produce offspring, which would have come from the Donakil, being the melaninated beings, and obviously with the Teros, who would produce the brown germ. And then to take that, so what happened is all the children that were born, when they came, remember, this was done over a period of 600 years. Whilst he had to get followers, he had to basically build a crowd by preaching his doctrine and people that followed him.
600 years. That's
And
some
he got shipped.
Pleiadian technology type, like
the really
rapid.
weird part, and I still don't get this, is that he's saying it took 600 years to make white people, but at the same time, like a little bit, like maybe 20 seconds from now, he's about to say that Yakub dies at the age of 150. So I'm not getting it.
Well, they were working with the Pleiadians, who do have that rapid fire like technology development going. So maybe
probably time travel. Yeah.
Oh, wait. Maybe it's like it took 600 years, but Yakub only was there for the first 150, and then his scientist.
He did have a scientists under his tutelage that took over. Yeah,
right.
I don't know if they say it in this one, but that is part of the lore.
Yeah, you're totally right. Sorry, I was just like thinking, I'm like, wait a minute, this doesn't make sense, but that just totally clarified it. I'm on board now. So.
Oh, and for $2, Mark Agamotto wants to know: are we taking IQ in the negatives? You could possibly lose IQ watching this. Yeah.
Yeah, the negatives would still be real numbers, which I think is ambitious. We might be in more complex territory, as it were.
And he loaded his ships with his followers to go on this journey. And what he was doing was, like, throughout that period, he was doing this breeding of taking the dark to the brown, and then the brown to the yellow, and then the yellow to the red, then to the pale. But how he did that was every child that was born that was dark, he would get rid of. Then the brown would then produce children, and then so on and so forth. So basically, like, if you kind of look at it like if you look at how Michael Jackson was, where he was dark.
What?
Yeah, the big head, big nose.
I mean, this is actually nothing like that.
Not at all.
Nothing. Like everything. What? This is an individual over time.
Yeah, like this is nothing like you.
Completely different. Yeah. Just not in. I don't want to get into like what Michael Jackson was doing, wasn't doing, may have been doing.
Michael Jackson was a unique case. I think we can all agree on that.
Look, I'm glad.
What he's actually talking about, and I can't remember if he said it or not. Like, he's actually breeding babies to see which ones will be lighter and sacrificing the darker ones to get a different, quote unquote, what do they call it? Germ.
The brown germ?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. So I'm glad.
So again, nothing like Michael Jackson. And regardless of what could have been going on with Michael Jackson, it's one person. Nothing like what Yakub was said to have been doing, and thank God it's just a fairy tale.
I'm glad.
But also, for $2, Left-Handed Jedi says, "Damn it, Grayson," which I'm feeling in my heart and soul right now.
I think the whole audience is probably feeling that one.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm just glad that we could debunk this stupid video, and we could say, look, this video is wrong. Michael Jackson was actually not anything like what actually happened with Yakub's real experiments.
Yeah. The real experiments, yeah.
Yeah. So,
over a period of time, he went from being dark to light. He went from having a big nose to a straight nose, big lips to thin lips, and basically transformed. So you can go from black to what people consider white or pale, but you can't go the other way around. So anyway, people were dying along the journey. And this
Rachel Dolezal would have words to say about that.
Journey took 600 years. He himself died along the journey because one of his brains exploded. So he didn't make it to see the end result. But
that does happen.
We're just gonna, just as a matter of course, one of his brains exploded.
I think that's probably happened to multiple audience members on this channel tonight.
Yeah, a lot of people were just like, "Oh God, look at the time." Damn it, Grayson. Yeah, this is it's kind of nuts, but
it is definitely true that when you have multiple of an organ, sometimes one of them just like fails. Like I've had one of my two lungs collapse on multiple, like 5 separate occasions.
Oh,
I
well,
lost a
shit,
left
that's not
nut.
supposed to happen.
No, it's not. I've had a whole surgery to like prevent it. It hasn't happened in about 10 years. It's great. But
Yeah,
it was a whole thing.
yeah. That's a whole thing.
But
That's
none of my organs ever exploded. Although appendices do that occasionally.
Did
and
you
it's a
know
serious
that your
medical
brain can
condition.
spontaneously combust for no reason? It happened to
Same
you
thing
too.
happened to my left nut.
Ooh, sounds
That sounds
horrible.
like
Luckily,
indescribably horrifically painful.
it's like, luckily, like Tap was saying, you know, you start
Did
out
you know
with
video
two, you
that?
can lose one.
However, he had loyal scientists that knew of his plan of what he was trying to achieve, and they actually completed that. And this would be what people call him Jews today, but they were originally Khazars. And if
I
you
love
study
this.
the
All right,
Jews,
right
you have
now,
two sects. The
I'm
Safaradis.
thinking about like the Manhattan Project for building white people. Like I'm thinking like Oppenheimer, but like they're constructing white people.
It probably would have been like that, honestly.
Why?
Because he did.
That is a good question.
Were you
Wait,
No,
see the entire
he mentioned it. No, I do know why. And it was because he felt bad for being bullied, so he wanted to create like a new people that he could basically just be God and fuck
Yes.
with them and feel good about it.
Yes.
Okay? Like, this is actually a very common story in just
Yes.
creation myths generally, and it's fucking horrifying.
it's
very
wondering
common.
for $10 says it sounds like they ripped off Dinotopia.
Dinotopia is a great series, man. I'm getting nostalgic flashbacks right now.
I don't even know what that is.
Wow.
You're a horrible nerd.
I am. I'm sorry.
And the Ashkenazim, which are descendants of these Khazars. And so the word Jew, as we have broken, I break down all the time, is because they try to tie into the tribe of what they say Yehuda or Yehudi. That's what they say Jews are. And that will go to the tribe of Judah of the 12 tribes. Well, 13 if you include the female. But they're not the
Jews are a
original.
whole race. That's
tribe.
interesting.
So right now he's saying that the Jews are not actually the Israelites. They just are pretending to be one of the tribes, and that's why they call themselves Jews for the tribe. But
Right.
he's also spelling Jew with a G, the Jews. So I'm a little bit
that's
flustered
interesting.
about the whole thing.
Tribe of
Okay.
Judah. They play on the word Judah with Jew, but they're from the what we call the Jacobites or the Jebusites from the son Jebus. But anyway, so that
From the
Yakub
son
story-
Jebus. Okay, the Jews are aliens too. Okay.
Of course. Why wouldn't they be?
Wait, why else would there be a star called Jebus? You ever think of that one, Maya?
I will be
Right.
honest. Most of the time when I hear the word Anunnaki being thrown around, it also involves space Hebrews.
Yeah, very common.
I'm not-
Thanks,
not-
Jordan.
Yeah, thanks, Jordan.
And I just want to clarify, okay, that the Jews being cosmological aliens related to the Anunnaki is just a stereotype, okay? It's just an anti-Semitic trope.
as I've explained, is the same story that the Nation of Islam tell, as you saw, because the person that was over that land, Shesh Bazar, is who they call Shabazz, where they say the tribe of Shabazz. And they refer to, if you look at the nation's teachings, as the original Asiatic black man. This is why in Wusabat we
I totally heard that as the original Asiatic Batman and not the original Asiatic black man, which is only
Oh my God.
slightly less. It is significantly less silly, but
Let me
still.
unpack this for you, okay? The Asiatic black people, they have black skin, they have melanin, but they have straight hair, okay? They don't have curly hair, or I think they use the word wool hair, which sounds very strange to me, but okay. They say that the Asiatic black people had straight hair, and they're the ones that, together with, I don't even know if I can say this sentence, but They created. They're the ones that started slavery together with the Jews, according to this guy. So, of
Yeah,
course, it
I
all
don't
goes back
blame
to the
you.
Jews.
I don't blame you for being wary about that sentence construction there.
Yeah. So that, and he says that earlier in the video. I did see that part of the video where he says a lot of people say that slavery was being practiced in Africa before the Europeans implemented it. And that's true, but that's not the Africans that invented it. It was the Asiatic black people that
There
invented
was
it instead of
never
the Jews.
there was never really a before slavery is the
Yeah.
thing. Like slavery was a thing in the
Explain
But
that we're
basically,
not the
as far
original
back
Asian.
as we have history, yeah.
yeah.
If you look at the nation's teachings as the original Asiatic black man, this is why in Wu Sabat we explain that we're not the original Asiatic black man. That's referring to the East Indians who are, although they are black, they're dark, they had straight hair. And our unique trait on the planet as Nagaru or Negroes is woolly 90 for hair. So that's where they had the information of the story, but it got mixed up. And then in the Bible, in the biblical stories, they tell you about the story of, Jacob and Esau and how the birthright was stolen. And, that's a whole different story. But yeah, so this Yakub that people keep asking about, this is how he came about, by these extraterrestrial descendants that lived in the inner world, or the caverns in the inner world called Shambhala, where you find many other beings that have been here for millions of years that have descendants on the planet. So when you look at everyone on the planet today, all the races, yeah, you have the original forefathers who came from some other constellations, other planets, dwelled here in the caverns. Some of them remain in the caverns and don't come up to the surface, and others came up to the surface. So, like we talk about the Donakil, which ties into the Dongalawa, or the tribes in Nubia today, which refer to that, and that ties into the Watusi tribe. And then you have the other side, which is the Pataites, which ties into Nekeba and her parents, Anaf and Pata. So that's the black. And then you have like these conehead beings that come from Jomon, right? From Jomon. These are where the Orientals, if you
Wait,
look at
pause
like
it,
the
pause it.
Chinese.
Oh, he already gave it up. I was going to say we should guess
Sorry.
about who the Coneheads became, but he already said.
Yeah.
Go
They
back
kinda
a
look
little
like
bit,
them
maybe,
with
and
John and her
I'll just let
parents, and
bro
Pata.
cook.
So that's the black,
I'll just
and then
let
you
him
have like these conehead beings that come from Jomon, right? From Jomon, these are where the Orientals. If you look at like the Chinese, they kind of look like them with the features, and those are from Jomon. Then you look at people on the planet that are very obese, like they have a lot of weight. I'm not talking about people that just have weight, but the ones that are really obese to the point where they can't lose weight. That's because they have their genetics tied into these deros, right?
Really?
Well,
So all like morbidly obese, so like all Americans are just tied into these people. Like, where are we going with this?
Yeah, apparently the
it's an
Chinese.
acknowledgement that obesity can be genetically determined. Like that's something.
Yeah, so the Asians come from the Coneheads, and all the fat people come from the Delo, and they're like, I guess they're their own race in this conception. I don't know where the Asian like sumo wrestlers. I don't know if they're half Conehead, half Delo, or what.
That's a great question, because like when they were talking about like Yakub, like, and his eugenics, like it was one thing when it's like, okay, well, you have these babies and they were this race, and you have these babies and they were this race, but like, are these just like aliens from other planets that all decided to land on Earth at the same time and just set up shop? I don't understand.
Yeah, it's like the crazy part. The crazy part to me is that an obese person can get a DNA test, and they can have two non-obese parents that clearly their DNA is just a mix of their parents. Yeah. And for some reason, I don't know if the geneticists are covering this up or if they're just too stupid because most of them are white or what, but they keep missing the genetic component from the Delos. I don't know why.
For $10, Reggio says, would red string and a pinboard help sort out the origins of all humanoids?
No, you need a whiteboard.
No. See, because what they are talking about cannot be traced to one people group. Just, fat people get like retconned back to the whatever people here. And I don't know if you have to have, I don't know how genetics works in this world. Hey, you're the geneticist tonight, Grayson. What do you think?
Right. Well, as someone who has taken genetics and experimental genetics lab in my undergrad, that would rank me as the geneticist in the panel right now. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and I personally think that it's a global conspiracy by the Illuminati to cover up the genetic components in various races that trace back to these inner world alien beings.
Mm-hmm.
Because obviously they're trying to keep this sacred knowledge from us and keep us down.
I mean, I completely agree with what Grayson has just said.
Mm-hmm.
The pervasiveness of the overriding will of the Masonic order, it can't be discounted.
For $2, a sinister purpose says C's major here. Grids can be a type of graph, which is
CS.
like, yeah, a long time ago. But oh, this is when we were talking about the grid.
Well, yeah. Well, so a grid is a type of a graph, but a
Mm-hmm.
grid specifically, I think, implies or denotes a rectangular organization, whereas a graph can just be a bunch of collected, vertices and edges. So, all right, I'm gonna press play.
And so everyone on the planet has some link to these extraterrestrials by way of their descendants in the caverns. And some people have something called hirsutism. This ties into those Duanis that we spoke about, or the shaggy beings that you will find in ancient Sumeria with Enkidu, for example.
There
Grayson.
it
Because
is. There
Well,
it is. So it's not a race that we would typically think of. It's just Hirsuite people, the people that have a so-called genetic mutation or rare allele that makes them very hairy. Yeah, you'd think that those are just normal humans and should be treated like everyday people, but no, they're actually descendants of these weird porcupine gremlin men.
I want to
Uh-huh.
be a porcupine gremlin, man.
Well, too bad you're a failed genetic experiment.
I know. I'm sorry.
$5, Jester
that we spoke
says.
about.
When the Gouda don't succeed in Earth, you will be grateful.
Mhm.
That looks like it's probably Klingon.
Ah,
Um, and I think that's probably bombing, and then like something happened. But
does anybody here speak Klingon?
I do not. I am not
You are
that
a
much of a
bad
nerd.
nerd. God damn.
Okay, that is an extremely high bar. What do I look like? Dapper?
It's Stargate. It's not Star Trek. It's from Stargate.
Oh, you're right. The chat is agreeing with you. It's
I don't
Stargate.
fucking know. I've never seen
Thank
Stargate.
you. Let's
Okay,
see.
this
Don
does make me a bad
Giovanni,
nerd.
Mark Agamotto.
It does make me a bad nerd, not knowing that it's Stargate. Like I will cop to that one.
Brigwin, Jillian.
Oh man,
Wow.
our chat is so
Girls
mad
got
at
to
us
it
right now.
first. Yeah. Team girl. Love it.
I'm so sorry, chat.
Or the shaggy beings that you will find in ancient Sumeria with Enkidu, for example. Because when you look at the Epics of Gilgamesh, his best friend was called Enkidu, and those Enkiduites are those hairy beings. So all the biblical stories, all the people on the planet, they relate or tie back into these extraterrestrials in some way, shape, or form. And Yakub's story is just one of those strange stories that got passed over and remixed, but it literally comes from him being, this birth between two different people. We talked about the downside.
I mean, he invented white people, okay? Like, just one of those strange stories. Like, hey, am I just, what am I, chopped liver?
I don't
Well,
like
I'm glad that we could explain where you came from,
can we
Tap. Now
put
now
this
you
down to like
understand where you.
1.4 or something? Like he's mumbling, he's all mumble mouth now. Maybe it's the wine, I don't know. But like or it could just be like that he's actually incoherent. I have no idea what
I
he's
mean,
talking about
mostly.
though.
But do we want to go over like any of the? Oh, there's the. How are the Pleiadians involved? There's a
Oh
little.
wow, I didn't even watch that part. So the Pleiadians are a total mystery to me. But before we go there, what he was talking about with Down syndrome, because I think
Oh, right. We were looking for that,
That
weren't
was
we?
that was right here.
yeah, let's watch that one, because this is actually he gets into the real science here, and he starts talking about chromosomes and DNA.
Okay.
I saw this part.
So people of the planet Earth normally have 46 chromosomes. However, because the pteros have 48 chromosomes, their structure is so different. When mixed with certain humans, it resulted in a defect called Down syndrome, right? So you know Down syndrome from different races, they have the same traits. Where the individual, right, has 46.
So this thing that they have on the screen is correct.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which is like we're bending over backwards here to point out something good here.
Down syndrome
You
from
are.
different
You're right. I am.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's like
Give
my
this
job.
guy any
Sorry.
credit.
races, they have the same traits. Where the individual, right, has 47 chromosomes. So because of the 46 chromosomes of the humans and the 48 chromosomes of the pteros, you know, you get individuals that come out and they have 47 chromosomes, and this is where the result of Down syndrome comes from. And it can be found in any race on the planet Earth.
Pause it for a second.
Just as the pteros.
I would also like to highlight the comment by Vic Lit here about how if you look at this text, every single word is capitalized.
Yeah. I was
Oh my
like,
God.
I don't know why.
you didn't notice that, Maya?
Yeah, it's like they're trying to make it sound more like important or more ancient and just capitalizing every word. Why not?
I think either they have like weird beliefs about the meaning of the capital letters, or they somehow got stuck in a certain mode on like Microsoft Word and literally wrote the entire book this way.
Yeah, I saw that earlier. I'm just like, what is going on here? But yeah, the thing about okay, you could just really easily debunk this nonsense about Down syndrome. Just like they have one extra chromosome, but it's a copy of human chromosome 21. It's not a telos chromosome. Like if it was an actual alien chromosome that they're inheriting from an alien parent, it wouldn't look like a human chromosome. It would not look like a copy of a chromosome that they already have.
I mean, exactly.
Sorry. I just like the absurdity of like what he's saying. I'm just like
I think he's actually saying that every single Down syndrome person has an alien parent. One of their two very human parents who exist and you can talk to is actually an alien conehead in disguise.
And only this extra chromosome.
That is exactly what he's saying.
That's the only one that's alien.
But it looks exactly like a human chromosome.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, right, because...
Well, have you seen Star Trek? Like, all of the aliens are just humans with differently shaped, like, minor facial features.
Yeah, I don't think we should ever show this guy Star Trek because he's going to think it's all just a documentary.
Oh, no, it's a documentary, yeah. 100%. Unlike Regios, this angel, who's gifted us 20 more cultists. Way to go. And those went to a lot of people. Not Brooks, Stephen Walsh, Postate Sisters, who one day, maybe will lose enough sleep with us, lose enough sleep to come on with us. God. Stacy C, Brojo, Ways to Human, who will be a friend of the show next week. Billy Bongs a lot. Never get tired of that word or that name. Lord Dissident, Speedy Romans, Spiel Cab von Sparta, Kira J. I think that's everybody. Oh my God. So, Regios, thank you.
Also, Maya, about your earlier point about
also cultists, they have to be reminded, because this is important, that you have to enjoy your tapioca weasels, your nitties, and vaginas. I'm sorry, Grayson, what were you saying?
Well, I was thinking when you were asking about where did the Pleiadians come from? They didn't have enough time to evolve on their home planet. But then I was like, there's a 0% chance that any of these people accept evolution is real. So, I mean, that's ridiculous. I mean, evolution, a monkey turned into a tree? What? That's ridiculous. That's too crazy, too out there.
No, I mean, that is a fair point. We're, despite all the, you know what? I'm not even gonna. All right, you know who? Peter Guns renewed his membership or his cultship. Yes, dues. For it's been a cult member for 8 months, so we do appreciate that, Peter Guns. And there you go. Please continue to enjoy your tapioca weasels, your nitties of vaginas. And then Reggio's gifted a membership. I have no idea who that went to. If I find it, I will say it. But you, whoever you are, enjoy all the things. And Regios, thank you. You're a really cool person.
It was really funny earlier this week, chat. Maya sent me a message with a screenshot of a frankly insulting thing that YouTube said, which was congratulating for 200 memberships.
No, it was like finally reaching 200 memberships. Now, YouTube has been keeping me away from 200 members since we started getting memberships. It had originally started cutting me off at 75. And that's when we're at 500. And now, 500 members later, or subs later, I'm allowed to have 200 members. It is, I want to kick YouTube in the goddamn teeth sometimes.
Yeah.
But, offensive. You know, congratulations, Maya. You finally made it. You know, if they were fighting themselves, they might get an angry letter from me.
That have an abundance of melanin in their skin are descendants of the Shuyuk.
Okay, we
and those that lack melanin are.
We covered this part. Do we want to skip to any other parts of the video?
Yeah.
Have we been?
Why did Yakub have a large head? I mean, we have discussed it, but I like this bit.
Where are the other ones? Well, you're
how did Yakub die or whatever?
You can't expect me to read all that.
We could always look at the comments. That's an endless source of.
You're trying to kill me.
How did Yakub die? His brain exploded. Why did he start school so young? Because he was a genius with two.
Is the pale Jew was first to start? Like, I'm not misreading this. Is it true? The pale Jew was the first to start the slave trade in the New World?
Might as well.
Oh, God. God damn it.
Might as well hit that one.
So the question is asked, is it true that the pale Jew was the first to start the slave trade in the New World? Answer, this is quite true. Jews who came over with Christopher Columbus returned with Native American to sell in Spain as slaves. Many of these Jews employed non-Jewish slaves.
Why is this the Jews' fault?
It's always
because everything is.
It's always. I mean, there's the saying that there's only one real conspiracy, and that's anti-Semitic.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
I mean, this is just highlighting that is totally the truth.
That's fair. Yeah.
Were the largest dealers of slaves, and it shows a picture of Christopher Columbus. Where do the British and the Dutch come into the slave trade?
I have to pause here because this is going to be the most controversial take of the entire stream from me, but. They might have been right about Christopher Columbus there, because just like a couple months ago, like literally this year, they released the results of the DNA test. They got Christopher Columbus's DNA, and it turns out, at least according to this recent 2024 DNA study, Christopher Columbus was not Italian. He was Jewish.
Holy shit.
They said that he was a
Italian Jews?
He was a Sephardic Jew from Spain. He's not Italian at all. He's like a Spanish Jew. So that's only according to his DNA, and who knows?
Well,
maybe that could have been an error. I don't know, but like
could have been adopted.
It's crazy that that is somehow kind of accurate in this. I'm just mind blown that how I don't even know. I don't know why they put Christopher Columbus in this. I don't know, but
normally I'm the one doing what you're doing right now.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know why I'm trying to say any of this is even partially true, and I don't think it is, because if you look at it, I don't think that they actually say that Christopher Columbus was Jewish. They just say he brought the Jews to the New World.
they don't. Yeah.
So I think that they are still wrong, but like,
No,
kind of weird.
You think?
I just think, yeah. But isn't it weird that like Christopher Columbus not Italian? Who knew?
I mean that's new news to me, but I mean, pretty sure Christopher Columbus didn't start the slave trade because he was a Jew.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that.
Yeah.
You think that happened?
Yeah.
Will be Jews whether they live in England, Holland, or Israel. As mentioned before, some Jews employ the non-Jewish British, Spanish, and Dutch as captains of ships and for other tasks. But the Jews were the kings of...
It just makes it hard to read, you guys. This is like the capitals make it hard to read.
The slave trade. Do not think that slavery started all of a sudden on the continent of Africa. Slavery had existed in Africa and the Middle East since ancient times. Then the Jews, not Israelites, had begun the trade. It took a turn for the worst. For centuries, Jews had a hard time starting the slave trade in Africa because even though the Pale Man had guns, he didn't have a match to the strength and the fighting skills of the African foreparents and their simple weapons. Yeah, that's a story for another video, but we're gonna just focus on the Yakub story, right? Because
oh God, my brain's destroyed.
You did this to yourself.
I did, and I apparently I did to Maya too because she actually watched this twice.
Well, I mean,
yeah, no, I did. I really did. I was just like, holy shit.
Was I not correct in saying that this is the most insane video on YouTube? Like, I can't think of one that
I don't think you understand.
You haven't seen our Terence Howard video.
No,
it was crazy. It was to the point where was it Skeptics and Scoundrels was like, guys, I can't.
Tap.
I'm cool.
Tap. Go to this channel right now. Click on this channel. Go to its most popular views and go to the video. Terence Howard was right about everything.
But you said this video.
No, but like on this channel, one of their most popular videos is Terence Howard was right about everything.
Like this is actually this makes sense too.
Oh, Jillian is saying the DNA study is extremely sketchy and almost certainly on some other random body that wasn't that of Columbus.
There you go. Terence
Howard. By the way, the way I got there is even better. The way I got there was by going to videos and clicking popular and then scrolling down.
The egg cannot come before the chicken. The chicken has to be there first in order to lay it. It has to mate.
Hold up. This is a riddle that most people try to solve. What came first, the chicken or the egg? Now, no one was able to answer this until I came across Panda Babyanun's.
It was the egg, okay? Because you didn't say chicken egg, so it was the egg, because there were eggs way before there were chickens.
Yep.
Sorry.
No, yeah, let's this play out. This is interesting.
This is an hour-long video.
What's your point?
Answer to it. Most people think that it has to be
fair enough.
A choice between those two things. You see, so that means you can't think of anything outside of that. That's the problem because the chicken comes from the dinosaur. And the dinosaur pre-existed. So it doesn't make sense when you say what came first, the chicken or the egg, when the chicken itself comes from the dinosaur.
Why does that not make sense?
Wait a minute, like chickens are still dinosaurs, but at the same time, he's getting this much closer than most creationists do. Like,
you're right, but the conclusion, like, syntactically and semantically does not follow.
I'm just shocked that he seems to accept evolution of dinosaurs. Like,
does he, or is he accepting it for the sake of, like, finding a contradiction?
He doesn't accept evolution of Homo sapiens. So, of dinosaurs and birds. I mean, that's impressive.
Well, okay, Maya, it would be a little bit ridiculous if all the birds were also aliens from Hollow Earth. I mean, come on.
Okay. You got me there.
Maya never admits it when I'm right.
And you look at a chicken, look at its structure,
It's because I'm never right.
look at its feet, it's just a miniature version. Okay, so we're here just about to watch the Joe Rogan Experience with Terence Howard.
Oh God.
Haven't seen any of it, so looking forward to giving our reaction and comments, so whatever.
Yeah, someone sent me a link as well, so yeah, I'm gonna find this interesting and see what he's got to say.
How many views does this have, by the way?
The Joe.
This has.
Oh my God, dude.
Well, they said Terence Howard, so I mean,
This is just so messed up. Who is watching these videos, man? Who? Oh.
We are the problem. We're not the problem.
Oh God. Should we? I mean.
well,
Oh.
all right. So, real quick. So you wait. Oh man, I wanted to ask you a question about the last comment before we jumped over, though, too, because you're gonna do a video soon, right?
Yeah. I am writing the script. I'm going to be doing an actual debunking of Yakub, like with the actual science of like explaining like where quote unquote white people came from, like in the archaeogenetics. So looking at ancient DNA of like tracing specific genes that are commonly associated with the phenotype of white people, such as pale skin and light eyes or whatever. So look at the genes that contribute to that. Where did they originate? It wasn't Europe. And then how did they combine to create the modern, European phenotypes that people might associate with the whites today? But we're going to be making the point clear that there's genetically no such things as races. Somebody that is like a native of Australia or Melanesia or something is going to have very dark skin, but it's going to be more genetically similar to me and Tap than they are to an African person. So like genetically, it makes no sense to categorize people according to races. There's not a genetic or scientific basis for that at all. Like if you just were sequencing everybody's genomes and then asking a supercomputer to sort them into the groups that make sense, it would never in a million years sort people according to races. Like the genetic diversity cannot be sorted in that way. That's not a biologically real category. So yeah, I'm going to be looking at the actual science of where did these white people actually come from? And it's actually a lot more recent than I think a lot of people might think. And it's from groups from like Central Asia, Turkey, and yeah, it's definitely an interesting tale and has absolutely no similarities at all in any way, shape, or form to the story of Yakub, which I will be making fun of and laughing at.
Racist.
Yeah, I'm sure
For
that
$2, Mark Yagamoto says, so an IQ that is the square root of negative 100. So it was half an hour ago. I can't remember what we were talking about then, but like it. Thank you, Mark.
Oh, by the way, when should I erase everybody's memories?
Well, we still got about 10 to 15 minutes for the stream. So do you want to see how right Terence Howard is, or do you want to go back to Yakub?
No, at this point, I'm curious about the Terence Howard thing. Is there any way that
all
we
right,
can
jump
see,
ahead
like,
a little bit? Let's.
Is there any way we can see,
we actually didn't need to hear them talk at all.
Is there any way we could see like the most
Is there a
popular
time like
portions of the video?
Yeah,
there you go. Skip to the most popular parts.
Last one, I was like, what happens when 24 bubbles meet? This is the negative space. If you pull to a horizontal on it,
You saw it in it. I was just about to say that. That is crazy. Yeah. So
I was just
that's
about to
two
say
triangles. So two pyramids, one upside down. And as above, so below.
triangles?
But go on, let's keep going.
this is where you cannot distinguish this from the background because all of the electrical potential has been accounted for. This would be the Bose-Einstein condensate.
Oh my
where
God damn it!
something that becomes indistinguishable from the
Wait,
fabric of
No,
space.
no, no. I was actually just about to say that. Like, this is exactly like Bose-Einstein condensate.
No, it's not. Why
No,
are
no,
you
no.
like
No.
this?
Look. Okay, in a Bose-Einstein condensate,
Don't tell them about
the matter can pass through itself, much like the bubble pyramids in this very accurate diagram.
none of that makes sense.
my thesis
Oh God.
in its title uses the term Bose-Einstein condensate. Okay, I am a physicist. This is my physics, and I hate them. I hate them, and I wanna like find where they live, and I'm not a bad person, so I don't know actually where to go from there. But
In Minecraft.
like,
And it gives them a very stern talking to.
yes, exactly. Like that's all I've got. I like literally where my mind went was like order them a shit ton of pizzas and like have it like charged for cash. And then they like, cause they're that but
You're
'cause
so adorable.
I'm not a bad person, Maya. Even
No,
though
no, Terence Howard is. I understand.
But no, it's not a fucking Bose-Einstein condensate. He doesn't know what that means. A Bose-Einstein condensate is a situation in which a lot of particles are all in the same ground quantum state. It is a macroscopic occupation of the single particle ground state. That's that requires some other background, but that's the short version. And I
How's your brain?
it's broken.
The back.
Let's figure out why.
One upside down. And yes, as above, so below. But go on, let's keep going.
Me. This is where you cannot distinguish this from the background because all of the electrical potential has been accounted for. This would be the
That's where I was gonna pause, by the way. After electrical potential, that whole rant was supposed to be about electrical potential, not about the words that he says next.
all of the electrical potential has been accounted for. This would be the Bose-Einstein condensate, where something becomes indistinguishable from the fabric of space itself, the final state of matter. Something, and the proof of this.
Would you like to explain what it means?
It means a macroscopic occupation of the single particle ground state. A Bose-Einstein condensate is when all of the stuff is as cold as it can be, and it's all in the same place at the same time, behaving as like one sort of big unit.
So it becomes space-time.
No, it doesn't fucking become space-time! How did you get that from what I said? The fact that it becomes one big coherent object in space does not mean that it becomes space. Why are you like this?
So you're saying it does become space.
Wait. He's
This
saying
made
that
me actually explode.
he's saying that the electric potential becomes nullified with the background.
What? Where are my glasses?
Like I can't see.
Yeah. Okay, we've
This
actually
is funny. I love it. Is his head like? Is his brain like his skull right? Like just pulsating from like
I think
all
that
the phase
it's about to
bullshit at
explode.
once?
It's about to explode like Yakub.
All right, for $2. This is 20 minutes ago. I don't know what he's referencing, but Mark Egamoto says, "Nah, show him Farscape."
I think that's what instead of showing Star Trek to our master Sifu here, he wants us to show him Farscape.
Ooh, was that a comic?
Mm-hmm.
That's the
I think we remember it. But your almost exploding brain is really great for revenue.
I'm glad you're profiting off of his debilitating.
Oh, we
pain
always profit
explosion.
off of his pain. It's like a thing we do. For $10, Aaron Colson says, "How much do we have to donate for y'all to stop playing this?"
$1 million.
That was 12 minutes ago. So that is actually around the time that we stopped playing the last thing. And now we're on to another new crazy thing. So you're welcome in advance. Yeah.
That's not what it was.
You showed a video. I didn't even know it was a thing.
They have a thing called discrete symmetry. And the proof of this.
Oh, look, a native atheist says, for $10, don't stop playing it.
God.
I love you,
for the
native.
record, I would just like to remind everybody that we do actually still have the person who donates the most does get to name the individual of this particular species that has been found. So we're totally down with continuing to milk that, even though it's doing me like hardcore psychic damage. Okay.
Oh, also, yeah, native rarely. I don't think native contributes often. I've never seen native give this much. So, in honor of our past Genocide Appreciation Day here in America, I just want to remind everyone that we lost at least 3 million Native Americans, and none of us should really be here. We're all on stolen land, and Native, we all stand with you. And I know that it feels like you guys get glossed over, and it's not for lack of wanting to. I think none of us feel that we are knowledgeable enough to speak on your behalf and don't want to fuck it up. But please know that when I was, speaking earlier, I was speaking for the natives too. We love you. We're here for you.
For sure.
All right.
Itself, the final state of matter. Something, and the proof of this, the Platonic solids, they have a thing called discrete symmetry. You can put the cubes together, maybe you can put the dodecahedrons together, but you can't put all of them together. But you can take the wave.
When he says put them together, what do you think he means, Grayson?
He means actually putting, like, he has the 3D models and he just physically puts them together.
That's like, what I was thinking, actually.
Yeah, but like,
I'm stupid though. Like, this is not my field. But like when I'm thinking, okay, when I hear him say put together, I think he thinks that they can actually just be like.
Well, I agree, but in a particular sense, I think because when he talks about cubes, putting them together, you can put cubes together and tile them, as it's called, to completely fill up a plane or a three-dimensional volume. You can just stack them all together and they fill up all of the little gaps.
Okay.
You can't do that with a dodecahedron, though.
Yeah, but when he says put them together, I don't think he's like putting them in, like they're like, I don't know, it's all weird. And it also means multiplication. That's why 1 times 1 equals 2, because if
he doesn't.
This is together with another one, you get 2.
I've never met an adult who misunderstands multiplication at the level that this guy does.
Oh,
and
no,
I've watched all of Logic's videos about Shmuel Pollen.
Well, like, did you see that viral TikTok about people who couldn't, I think it was like 0.8 times 0.12, and no one understood how it was 0.096?
It's not.
Yeah, it is. 0.8 times 0.12 is
0.96?
0.096.
Oh, okay.
It is 0.096.
096.
Sorry, my beat.
Yeah, I was like, wait, what? Wait,
Right.
where's my math?
No,
Um,
you're
oh,
right.
9-6, yeah.
Nice.
No, but yeah, like
What-
most
what-
Americans didn't understand. It's just like, well, you're adding it. How can you have a lesser? And it was the comments. Like, I actually found the video. Like the
Oh
comments,
yeah,
it's just like fucking wild.
so here's the thing. It is sometimes like there's a part of me that when people ask, how can you make lasers cool down atoms to ultra cold temperatures? I'm kind of like, that's kind of like saying that when you multiply things, they have to get bigger. But it's
Unless
not.
you're, yeah, yeah.
Well, I've never
If you
actually said
forgot
that.
your
But-
math and middle school math, which apparently is a huge thing in America. But
Yeah. The thing with Terry specifically, though, is that it's beyond just misunderstanding because he argues with the mathematicians that
No, he's
actually
a fucking idiot.
you're wrong all of
yeah,
math. And
no, like he's the kind that would go back to Walmart. My calculator is broken.
Yes.
No, actually, no. Because 1
No.
times 1 equals 2, and everybody else is just getting it. They're the ones misunderstanding.
Shmuel Pollen mostly understands what multiplication is. He does not understand what division is. Terry doesn't understand what multiplication is, like
Or
fundamentally. And it's just not that hard. Is that like elitist of me to say?
No, like again, he's fucking up third grade math.
For 1 times 1 equals 1 is second grade math.
I'm giving him some leeway there. I learned in the second grade. I went to Catholic school. Usually, I just add a year because I don't know where other people
like
work.
That's
But
you're totally that like that's fair, but adding a year for like the times tables is one thing. Adding a year for 1 times 1, like the fundamental basic concept. Really, I you have to introduce that in second grade. Like if you're not like
no, I'm just saying like where my brain went. Like that's my normal go to, and it's like fucking midnight
fair
here.
enough.
So or 11:30, whatever. So I'm not really thinking. Okay, well this is here, so I shouldn't.
It's
You
your
know,
fault.
and it's
it's going
also
things.
Terry. Like he like. Holy fucking shit, though, right?
Here's what I'm most curious about, right? And there's no way that we can answer this question tonight, but brave viewers, if you have the courage and strength for it, please somebody watch this entire video because I want to know what Terry was. The title of this is that Terry is right about most things. I want to know what these two.
Oh my god, you're right.
Here,
it is.
what he's right about and what he's not right about. I really genuinely want to know what they think. Like, yeah,
We need a
he's
breakdown.
right about the 1 times 1 equals 2
Okay.
thing, but he's just wrong about like what? What is he going to be wrong about?
If somebody does a breakdown of this video in the comments, I will totally go on Grayson's stream because I assume Maya is like totally done with this hot nonsense.
No, like the first thing, hey, Grayson was like, "We have to do Yakub," and I was like, "I already did Yakub." That was just, it was a month ago.
You didn't do it on BSS. You didn't do it on BSS.
Yeah, he said that, and then he was just like, "No, I found the perfect video," and then I was just like, "You should do it on your channel. Bring Tap with you."
She did say that.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, she's okay, but then I said no. Stop trying to pawn Tap off on me. He's your responsibility. Okay, you got him. You have to take care of him.
That is such a familiar story. Why am I such a burden?
Oh goodness. Okay, let me see. I think we have. Okay, let's go over here. Oh, hi, Grayson.
Hi.
Glasses on.
Right. What am I doing?
Oh, right. Mark Egamoto for $2 says, "For once, I sympathize with Vandy."
There we go.
And then one more from Jester is here somewhere. I know it. For $2, Jester, Lord of Nothing, says, I will proudly take that delivery for you, Tap. And this is back when you were saying that you were going to like send pieces to somebody's house and make it out, or
Pieces to
like to
somebody's
cash
house.
or whatever. And
What?
Jester's like, I'll pay for the pizza. Just send it here.
Oh, the pizza. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. Um.
No, you don't have to answer that. We're just
Can I?
thank
Can I?
you,
Can
Mark
I?
and Jester, for coming through. We love you. Mwah, mwah, mwah.
I'm just trying to figure out if I can ethically get the chat to pay for me to eat a lot of pizza tonight.
Chat,
Okay,
you want to get
Grayson.
Andy a pizza?
Who are you? Where are you? What do you have coming up this week?
Me?
You.
Oh, okay.
Nerd.
Well, on Grayson Hawk's channel this week, I've got my full interview with two Origin of Life experts on amyloids and the origin of all this whole life deal. So I'm super excited about that. I've got that Yakub debunking, and I'm working on summarizing my thoughts from when I went to a faith healing and witnessed a miracle. So I actually did physically go to a traveling faith healing group where the pastor miraculously healed a girl and made her cry. So I got to witness that miracle, and I'm going to recount about what I saw.
Is any of that the truth?
Oh, yeah, I have it. It's all on footage. You can see me in the audience.
Uh-huh.
I went undercover, and it was insane. It was actually insane.
Yeah.
I was shouting in tongues.
On a completely unrelated note, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Does Kent Hovind have a cult?
Right. Yes, I did just do a pretty big debate with Kent Hovind where I pretty much called him out for running a cult. I've been to his compound
Oh, good for
before.
you.
It definitely is a cult, and I
Yeah.
called him out to his face, and he got very, very triggered and upset by that, and he said that I'm basically Hitler. So,
Oh, that's so cute.
yeah.
So wait, I think you were one of the people that were saying that people in his town believe he's in a cult.
Yes, so I went to Dinosaur Adventureland earlier this year, and yeah, lots of people were saying that it's a cult, and he specifically is very, very bothered by it. It actually offends him more than most things get under his skin. And when I left Dinosaur Adventureland, he gave me a 6-page type single space document about all the reasons why Dinosaur Adventureland is not a cult, and he asked me if I would go to the ladies at, quote, the ladies at the gas station and explain to them and give them the sheet that it says it's not a cult. Stop telling people it's a cult. So I decided.
Wow. There's a person at the gas station who has taken it upon themselves to tell everybody that like brings it up that this is a cult and to warn them away. You know what? I'm an atheist, but they are doing God's own work. That is what they are doing.
Shout out to the ladies at the gas station warning people not to go to Dinosaur Adventureland.
Oh my God. Yeah.
That is awesome.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, it really, really bothers him. Like the two things that seem to bother Kent most is like not any of the things that you would actually think would bother a man like that, but it's actually saying that Dinosaur Adventureland is a cult and then comparing his beliefs to flat earthers. Like he gets super offended if you
I'm not gonna lie, that would bug me.
Yeah, but
you actually run a cult.
Yeah, I do run a cult, and I'm very open about that. We're an honest cult, okay?
But just don't dare compare you to flat earthers.
But we're not.
I
We're a science affirming cult.
We are a science affirming cult, and you
It's
like
that. If you deny science, you're not allowed to be part of the cult.
Well, that's a good policy to have, honestly. But yeah,
unless it's anti-weasel science,
basically flat Earth.
Yeah.
So that's what I got coming up. I've got a couple videos that I haven't quite made it around to doing yet. Oh, and I have a debate tomorrow night actually with Crazy I Am about
Why?
About basically what
No,
makes
like,
more sense.
before you answer that, can you answer this real quick?
Okay.
Why are you like this?
Why are you like this?
All right.
This is
Okay. Here we go.
this is
Time
my
to unpack.
mantra.
Okay, we're gonna unpack a lot of stuff. Okay, Maya just asked the question. Okay, so it all started
Oh my
when
God.
I was 2, and no, actually, so I just like arguing. I'm a very argumentative person. I actually enjoy it. There's something wrong with my brain. Normal conversations get boring to me, but arguing with somebody who believes something ridiculous is ceaselessly entertaining. And all my life, all my family was like, Grayson, you should be a lawyer. Grayson, you'd make a great lawyer.
You
You
would
never
not.
shut up and stop arguing. And I would always say, I don't like arguing about the law because it's boring. I don't want to learn about it. I don't want to argue about it. I want to argue about cool things like science. And so that's why I'm like this. So basically, I decided to start a YouTube channel
Okay,
to
so like, if you
save
like
my
to argue,
Why
do
did
not
you
be a
become- why did you
lawyer.
become a
You will be
scientist?
kicked out of court. You'll be thrown in contempt. You're just like judges.
Grayson, why didn't you become a scientist?
I was, and I worked in several science labs from biochemistry to neuroscience, and I was also bored because it felt like you spend years of your life trying to make tiny little incremental progress in such a niche area that, like, it just didn't seem like how I wanted to spend my life. Sorry to scientists out there, but like, I still do. It would be really, really amazing to make scientific progress and to publish, but I don't want to be confined by academia into basically, like, I saw a survey that if money was no option, if funding was no option, like, the vast majority of scientists would be studying other aspects of their field that they actually care more about instead of just like writing grant proposals.
That is interesting because I would probably not. I would probably be doing mostly what I'm doing.
That's awesome.
Dude, my life is like cartoonishly fortunate. It's
Weasel privilege.
Yeah, that it's why I pay reparations, right? You know, I understand what's up.
Oh, that night you owned my relatives, just sons of bitches.
At least you're not saying like, well, I guess you would if I let you. Your
so
direct
for me to wipe
relatives.
Stream's memory?
Okay. So Dr. Dino is bored at work and he does not want us to stop streaming. And since we still have 20 minutes until midnight, I'm going to pick a fight with you, Grayson.
Oh, okay. We're getting. Wait, no.
Let's do it.
Serious fight, or are we not serious fight?
Serious fight. Serious fight. Serious fight.
All right. I don't know. It's.
No, the glasses.
Okay, so didn't you picked a fight with Darth Dawkins, right?
Yes.
All right, and how did that go?
He stood me up for 6 hours.
Where was that?
We agreed on a time and a date to have our discussion, and then he stood me up for 6 hours and then messaged me and said, sorry, I fell asleep. And then I said, let's reschedule. And then he never replied to me again.
So you agreed on a time and a date, which are a little redundant.
No, because it could be 4 o'clock.
I know what you mean. I said a little. Okay. I didn't say entirely. I said a little. You didn't say place, though.
Are we seriously fighting right now, Tap?
Girl!
Okay, because the place was Discord, and we did agree on it, and he had the
You
link.
need to tell me a room, okay? You gave me a continent. I need a freaking county.
I sent him a link. Okay, he had the place,
Okay,
he had the time, and he said that he fell asleep, and he's not willing to reschedule. So that's what happened with Darth Dawkins.
Darth Dawkins is a chump. I've had one conversation with Darth Dawkins.
What was your conversation with him like? I didn't even know you talked to him.
Yeah, no. This was way long ago. This was well before I met any of y'all. Although it's not before I knew about you, Maya, because you've been around forever. But
wow, so Darth Dawkins was one of your day ones?
Well, I ran into Darth Dawkins very shortly after the line like started a Discord channel. So the line was like founded, and I was like just in the line's voice chat alone. And it was like a new channel, and sometimes people would be in there, and like I'd talk to them, and it was like fun. But I was just like, no, actually, I wasn't alone in there. He was alone in there, and he was calling himself Duncan Atheist at the time, or something like that. And
that's exactly himself.
yeah, and I went in, and I was like, and I started like talking to this guy, and Darth Dawkins. We were the only two people in the room. And I am a very agreeable person to talk to, right? Like,
Usually.
Yeah.
Cap, you just tried to tell me that I wasn't specifying my coordinates in space-time well enough with... I mean, come on. That's not easy.
Girl! Okay! That's fair. But you're not a stranger, and I expect better of you.
You shouldn't.
That's fair. So I was talking to Darth, and like we talked for like 45 minutes, and then I was like, wait, are you Darth Dawkins? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, my biggest regret to this day is that I did not record that conversation.
Yeah. I didn't actually talk to Darth. I modded a like I was in Discord like as a mod to like a room that where people were going back and forth. Darth enters, and I had to keep fucking muting him and reminding him what the rules were. He wouldn't listen to me.
Asshole.
He would talk. Like I would mute him, and I would be like, Darth, remember, you have to let people finish their sentences. And I would unmute him, and he was like still talking the entire time.
Yeah.
I'm like giving the rules, and this happened like 9 or 10 times. And finally, he rage quit because I wouldn't stop muting him. And then he like left a thing in my a message in my DMs like, "You're the worst fucking mod ever." Okay, well, you should probably shut up.
I mean,
at some point,
it is remarkable. Like very, very distinctly to this day, my conversation that I had with Darth that I did not record, and which was just him and me, and then like one other person who was like a young person, like a minor between the age of like 14. I can't remember 14 and 18. And I was like, God damn it, the line. Like, why are you like this? But they were there. But it was just me and Darth for most of the time. And when he doesn't have an audience, and when he doesn't have mute power, and when you just don't ever kind of trigger him, except for finally by cornering him logically, which I wasn't good at back then, he's like, it takes a lot longer for him to become the psychotic, like completely, totally unreasonable, unhinged Darth that we all know and love.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, I didn't know that all I had to do was say the words Tom Rabbit, and he was probably going to lose his mind.
Oh,
right?
Yeah. Can't handle life. Jefferson Spatchcock is another one.
Yeah, or Jack Angstrike, but he's also like a kind of a.
So for $5, Mark Agamotto says, debate subject, pineapple and pizza, yes or no? Maya picks the side. Guys, what do you say? Pineapple pizza, yeah or nay?
I like pineapple on pizza, but I don't go with it every time.
I think that what he just said is a war crime.
Well, You're clearly wrong. It's because pineapple and pizza was the only. Yeah.
Get out of here. I'm the new Tap. I'm the new Rufus. This is my cult now.
That was the only correct answer. Pineapple only belongs in pizza. And I'm kidding. I am kidding. I do like a what do you call it? There's a barbecue chicken Hawaiian pizza. Fucking love it. It is awesome. But if it's just like tomato sauce and pineapples, and I'm like, eh. But Hawaiian pizza not bad.
I mean, hey, if they got options, like if there's a pizza buffet, I'm taking a slice of cheese, a slice of pepperoni, a slice of Hawaiian. I'm taking one of each. You know, the only thing I'm not eating is anchovies. I'm sorry.
What? Oh, you know what? Okay, I've never had anchovies on pizza. I've had them. Have you had them on the Caesar salad?
No, and no, you cannot, Tap.
Have you had them on Caesar salad?
No. I mean, like, I'm grossed out by anchovies.
All right, so back to Darth Dawkins. You've never actually talked to him before.
No, I have. Yeah, I've talked to him.
Well, why were you talking to me about the one time when you never talked to him?
Well, I went in his Discord, challenged him to a debate, and he agreed. And then we agreed on the time and place. I emailed him.
Okay, like the time when he didn't stand you up, the time when you like heard his voice.
Yes.
What happened there?
I challenged him to a debate, and he said, debate right now. And I said, no, I want to debate you on my channel. Come debate. And he's agreed. That's it. I mean, we didn't actually get into any specifics. We were just like, I wanted to debate him on my channel.
Oh my God. As a bitch way out. No, you go to Darth and you're like, debate me now. And you just are live. And then you just go because it's the only way you get him.
The thing is,
I don't know if you know this, but he's a little bitch baby, right?
The thing is, Maya, is that I'm also a little bitch baby, and I cannot figure out how OBS works. And if I could actually figure out how to record a conversation on Discord, I would.
That's like recording 101. How do you have a channel and you don't know how to do that?
And I've had a channel for almost 2 years now. And I still have not figured out how to like screen record.
You're just not going to not stop talking, are you?
Yeah, the funny thing for the audience is that we've been hearing the
like nonstop in the background, and we're like trying to talk over him.
Yeah, we've been
actually kind of entertaining from our perspective.
He's not stopping. He's still going.
Oh, yeah. He's just back there. Anyways, all right. So yesterday, so my thing with Darth, I don't like I guess my beef is more with my chat, I guess. And I'm kind of wondering your perspective on it. So like my thing with Darth was like, yeah, no, we shouldn't give him air. But like whenever people talk about Darth, they talk about like the when
he's busted out the whiteboard. I'm sorry. I can see him backstage. He's got the whiteboard now, Maya.
Stop looking at him. Just ignore him. It gets easier.
It's like
just focus on me. Focus on me.
When you pass a car.
Look at me. Like, do I have to whip out the titties? Does that make it easier? All right. Cool. Just me and you, right? All right. So Darth had a debate with Shannon, I don't know, 50 years ago in MDD. And so every time people talk about Darth, they're like, oh yeah, you should look at this debate with Shannon. Yeah. And I'm like, and this is the only way to treat Darth. Now, my perspective on that is no, you don't want to do that. So for fuck's sake. I'm having a discussion here. Let's calm down.
Hey, this is serious time, Tap. This is a serious stream.
Titties. Look, titties trump whiteboard every time.
Facts. All facts, no copy.
Oh, for fuck's sake. I don't really know how this is going to go, so I'm just going to drop him out of the scene there. Oh, no, peak titties. Stop it.
I just saw the wrong titties, Maya. Tap is backstage right now, whiling out.
I keep telling them that.
Those are not the titties I was promised, Maya. I'm just saying, when I agreed to this stream and I was promised titties, those were not the titties I was promised. I'm just saying.
Those are the titties you got. I don't know what to say.
Okay, fine. I'll take them. Anybody? God.
Reasons to overthrow Maya.
Wow, he is organizing.
we strike at midnight. which is in 7
All right. So my issue with people saying that, right?
7 minutes we strike.
All right. So my issue with people saying that, right, is James kind of railroaded Shannon. Somebody dropped out, and she went in completely unprepared. She was trying to have a conversation, and then he's just like, "I'm a crazy ass clown," and I don't like. This isn't me coming for Shannon. When a crazy person accosts you on the street, you distract them and run off, which is what I felt like she did. I don't like that people are saying, "Oh, look at this thing with Shannon. This is how you treat people like this." It'd be interesting to see if Shannon had the same perspective, or even if she would engage in the conversation had she known what she was walking into. I think that Shannon would say, "No, this is not how you treat people like this. You don't engage with people like this. They are crazy." And what he actually did, and okay, so my reason for not wanting people to do this is because you don't. It's not how you treat a bully and a narcissist. What he did was he and his like crazy ass acolytes like just mercilessly pursued her on social media, in her comments, like threatening her, taunting her, ridiculing her, just whole streams about her. They just never let. I mean, it was like 2 years. They just never fucking let up. I can't imagine what her DMs look like. Just that level of harassment for her defending herself, for just, I mean, being railroaded on that one stream, and that's really my issue with it. It's like, okay, when you treat people like this, when you publicly humiliate a bully, you will be harassed. Are you prepared for that? And are you and the people that you're telling to do this, are they prepared for that? How are they going to, come through that? And do you actually know what you are setting up someone else to do? And again, I'm not coming for Shannon. I think that given the situation she was in, I think she was trapped, backed up against the corner, and did, just rather than, I know she and James are friends at the time, and, it's just not, what, James, you didn't tell me you were going to do this. I'm going to, take my shit and walk away, which is what Matt did, and people applauded that too. So it's not like it wasn't off the table, but I'm not faulting her for that. Matt, I mean, he was actually up against a person who was acting on their bigotry. So I do applaud him for walking away from that. You don't stand and put up with that. But I think in both instances, there would have been the same thing. There would have been both people getting mad, being humiliated, coming at them, harassing them, and sending people who back them to do the same. Mm-hmm. I don't think that this is the best way to handle people like Darth Dawkins. I think the best thing to do, I'm sorry, I don't like being big. Here, you can be big. I think the best thing to do, one, is stay away from them. And two, I really do like and appreciate what you do. I don't think that you needed to talk to Kent Hovind quite so many times, but far be it from me to tell another streamer what to do on their own channel. However, I do love you, and I'm not sure if Mark is still out there, but for showing how to have reasonable conversations with crazy people, for showing how we move people to our side. That there are people that you can engage with, and there are people that you shouldn't engage with. And if you're going to engage, there should be it should be thoughtful, and it should be planned. Like, you don't just,
Well, here are my thoughts on this, right?
Okay.
One, I think you shouldn't debate anyone. Like, maybe a call-in show is different, but like, if you're going to debate somebody who has a platform, you should know about that person before.
Right.
So like, one, you got to do your research so that you know.
Yes, that. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure.
And so like, what Matt in some of the debates that he walked out on, like he said, I just didn't know what I was getting into, and I never would have agreed to do this debate if I had known. And for a while, he had a point of not doing any research about his opponents, and I think he's changed that because he realized that
Yeah.
that was a foolish thing to do. Like, you should
Right.
research your opponents. And then two, I think when you're talking about dealing with crazy people, I do think that it depends on the size of their platform. Like, you're right, in the street, if some crazy guy just comes up to you, you want to distract him and get out of there. But if that crazy guy has a huge following, like, I do think it's a good thing to expose their crazy. Like, for example, Matt had a debate with that Howard guy who, like,
Mhm.
honestly is probably mentally ill. Like, he's delusional. Like, he's actually crazy. Like, and he doesn't have anybody that's following him, like, that believes him. All the people following him are, like, kind of laughing along at the crazy things that he says. And as soon as Matt realized that, Matt said, yeah, I can't do this debate because I actually think that this guy is mentally disturbed and is, like, not all there, and I don't feel comfortable, like, debating this. So that is just like a crazy guy on the street where you just need to get out of that conversation. But if Howard actually was, like, leading hundreds of thousands of followers or whatever, like, I do think that you need to research their claims and then go on the attack to expose them in front of their following. And that's what I try to do with Kent, because that's what I realized over the arc of debating Kent so much, is that for the first few debates, basically, I was playing this game of pseudoscience whack-a-mole. He would say
Mhm.
a sort of crazy claim. I would counter that with some real science, and it would just be that forever. And we would make
Yeah.
no progress. He would remember nothing of the conversations, and he and his followers would learn nothing from it. So this last debate, I went in specifically saying, I want this to be my last Kent Hovind debate, because I want to burn that bridge down, and I want Kent to refuse to ever want to debate me again. So I knew the things that bothered him from previous interactions. I knew what would get under his skin, and I basically just wanted to go in there and burn that bridge and expose him for the cult that he has been running. So I think I accomplished that. Honestly, it might have been my best debate yet. So yeah, I think that is how you handle people like that. And yeah, I think that sometimes if they have a big enough platform and a big enough audience, then
Mhm.
they do need to be exposed and not just.
Right, but it's one thing to expose them, and it's one thing to, like, publicly humiliate and ridicule and not. I mean, she was running out the clock. Like, that wasn't a conversation.
Yeah.
And I like it's not a conversation. That's my
It's
only
a
point.
really
I
good
think that if
question.
you're going to come up against someone like that, and again, like anyone, like whether it's anyone, like anyone,
I
like you're
actually
like
really
I
want to
am going
know.
to go into a conversation with you. Like there's gotta be some kind of understanding of what you're going to talk about, what they're going to talk about, how they're going to talk about it.
Yeah.
There needs to be this
Actually,
strategic thing, and I think that when the other person dropped out, I think James should have just said, you know what, I'm going to have to reschedule, and I'm sorry,
yeah.
but
I do think
I
it would
understand
have
why you
really,
didn't. I don't agree with it, but we're not getting into that tonight.
I do think it would have been really interesting, if Shannon would have still agreed to have that discussion if she knew all about Darth Dawkins
She would
beforehand.
not.
And
Yeah.
yeah, I'd just be curious if we could have, like, a side by side of, here's the debate where she had time to prepare and knew what she was
Hmm.
getting into, and here's how she went on the attack with that, and then versus the debate that we got where she was just
Right.
flying blind and had to figure out what kind of nonsensical asshole she was dealing with.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. Real quick, Aaron Coulson, $10. Can't be here because I have to be. He has to wake. Either has to be up at 5 a.m. or it has to be at work at 5 a.m. Either way, oof, night. And it is midnight, so we too will be getting off of here or signing off. Gentlemen, do you want to hear some more of the smooth stylings of Darth Dawkins, or do you want to go with our
Oh.
with
Let's
our
wipe their
outro?
minds. Let's wipe their minds.
We will definitely do that. We're just trying to figure out which outro video we're
I
going with.
wanted to say, so Doc Dino had the prize of being able to name the individual for
Oh my
whoever
God, Grayson, you
donated
went
the
back
most.
on that. I saw that video. That was amazing.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh
Also,
my
yeah,
God.
Grayson, you were talking earlier about like I would love to get published even though I'm not an academic. Like you helped Doc with the stuff. Like that's plausible. Doc does not control that. There's probably politics. I probably shouldn't even say anything. But anyway, I was
Well,
gonna say though,
I'm trying to work with a professor right now to get published in physics, actually. So we shall see.
Ooh.
I mean, physicists, a bunch of
Whoa.
crackpots, all of them.
Yep.
I was gonna say though, I'm pretty sure that the person who donated the most, is
Somebody sent in $20, right?
somebody sent in $20.
So a Sandring, I know. I'm
Is
gonna have to go
Sandring?
back
Yeah,
through.
it was.
He got
Is Sandring?
$30.
Yeah, he gave
Oh.
30. Nobody beat that.
Nobody beat 30. So who sent in 30?
That was a
The
Sandring.
Sandring.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
have to. I'm gonna go back through and
But well, actually, Regios
yeah, because I was gonna say there's a lot of people who
gifted
gave
10 and then
10
gifted
a
20
couple of times.
memberships.
Regios
But
is a pretty badass dinosaur name. Also,
did all of Regios's memberships actually get gifted? Is the question. Because Regios gifted, he gave
You asking me to
10
do
in
math in
super
my
chat.
head at midnight.
I'm doing the math, Maya. He gave 10 in super chat and then he gifted 20, which would bring him up to 30, and then he gifted one more. But I'm not convinced all 20 of those actually got gifted. All 21 rather. So we'll have to figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. I'll get the information over to Doc. So what's the outro vid? Are we doing? Nobody in the chat's even saying anything about this. I thought we'd get some kind of vote on it. Do we want to do the Darth Dawkins Christmas, or do we want to do the regular outro vid?
I like the regular outro vid.
Yeah,
But
Grayson's
I'm
kind
not
of
going
in
to
it.
care in a moment because we're about to get mind wiped.
All right.
All
Well,
right.
Vic said the regular vid too, so he'll second it. And all right, Grayson, you want to wipe our memories?
yes. First of all, I want to apologize to everyone for making you watch that video and all of the mental anguish that I've caused. And now I will make it all right, and you will all forget that you saw any of this. 1, 2, boom.